On the college entrance exam, I deliberately get every bonus question right just to stay far away from campus Queen Willow. The moment I walk out of the exam hall, Willow's friends start mocking me, Evan. Willow didn't do well, they say. This afternoon, remember to hand in a blank paper. Otherwise you'll never get another chance to worship her. Then the whole group bursts out laughing. I look at Willow, disgust written all over her face, and I nod. Got it, I say. But inside I'm thinking, whoever wants to be her simp can have the job. I'm done serving her. I turn around and call the family steward. Cut off every bit of support to her family immediately. Throw them all out. Willow calls me 99 times furious. I don't pick up a single one. Now she's panicking? Where was that urgency before? In my past life, I was the son of the richest man in the city, and I threw myself at my own driver's daughter. To marry her, I signed over the company my father left me. But while spending my money, she was falling in love with someone else. She spoiled her boyfriend like a doting girlfriend, while I was treated like her personal servant. On her wedding day, I called her, hoping to borrow money for medical treatment. These years with you clinging to me, she said coldly, have been a nightmare. Please, just stay away from me. As I lay dying, I looked at the woman holding me and finally understood the golden circle heiress I once rejected had been waiting for me all along. When I opened my eyes again, I'm back in my senior year of high school, dozing off at my desk. Willow shakes me awake. Julian's stomach is bothering him again. Go buy him some stomach medicine, then get his lunch from the cafeteria. Get him extra meat, he's too thin, he needs it. Julian lies slumped over his desk, surrounded by a crowd fussing over him. His stomach hurts and everyone worries. And of course Willow worries the most. The two of them have always ranked second in class. To everyone else, they're the perfect match, the golden couple. And me? I'm just Willow's mindless simp, dozing through every class, running errands, fetching her food and water between periods. Now that I realize I've been reborn, seeing that same look on Willow's face just makes me want to laugh. Who does she think she is, treating me like this? Seeing me space out, Willow snaps. What are you standing around for? Go, now! Hurry back! She walks over to Julian and gently pats his back. Julian glances at me. Let Evan go. No, I should go myself. Why worry? He likes doing this kind of thing. If I don't let him, he actually gets upset, right? She looks at me. I press my lips shut and head to the cafeteria without a word. This time, I line up and order 2 full meals. A classmate beside me smirks. Fetching food for campus Queen Willow again? But she likes guys like Julian, someone just as outstanding as her. She'd never look twice at someone like you. And what exactly am I? Aren't you just the servant's son? You go to school with her every day, and actually dream you could marry her one day? Wake up. A guy as dumb and useless as you will end up her family's servant. Washing her clothes, sweeping her floors, changing her future kids' diapers. I laugh, furious. So Willow's been telling you all that I'm the servant's son? Before it was only because I liked her that I let her ride my car to and from school every day. But now, in everyone's eyes, Willow's become the young lady, and I'm the servant's son. Hearing me say that, the classmate rolls her eyes. What else would you be? Just hurry up and take her lunch over. Don't be late. She laughs again, and everyone around joins in, mocking my simp behavior, my delusions. Then the bell rings. I leave the cafeteria but don't head back to class. I sit down by the flower bed and eat both meals myself. I can't even remember the last time I had a proper meal. With no money of my own, I could never afford anything decent. I'd always go to the market right as it closed, picking through vegetables no one wanted. Meat wasn't even worth dreaming about. I finish both meals and the hunger finally eases, just a little. By the time I get back to class, the first bell has already rung. Willow sees me walk in and snaps angrily, "Why are you only getting here now? Where's the medicine?" "What medicine?" I look at her coldly, none of my usual warmth left. Willow stares at me, exasperated. "The stomach medicine for Julian. I told you his stomach hurt. Are you deaf? Can't even handle something this small." I glance at Julian, pale-faced. What am I even to him? Why should I have to buy his medicine? Julian's family is ordinary, but ever since he met Willow, she's treated him extremely well. Every time my father gives me something good, Willow hands it straight to Julian. Even the watch on Julian's wrist right now, it's mine. These two swipe my card, spend my money, enjoy everything I have, and still order me around like a servant. Fine, fine. Evan, you want to make a scene? If that's how it's going to be, don't blame me for ignoring you next time. Don't come begging for my forgiveness later. I stare at Willow, finding her words almost laughable. What exactly do I need your forgiveness for? What did I do wrong? Seeing me actually talk back to Willow, everyone turns to look. What's going on? The simp actually grew a spine? Even Willow freezes for a moment, staring at me, remembering how I used to beg her for everything. If you've got the nerve, don't ride home with me this afternoon. I nod. Fine. I walk to my seat and sit down, as if I hadn't quite caught what she said, but inside, I've already agreed. Julian's deskmate, Vanessa, sees all this and jumps in to play judge. Seriously, Evan, what's your problem? It was just one medicine run. You couldn't even manage that? Can't you see Julian's not feeling well? I sweep her with a cold glance. If it matters so much, why don't you go buy it now? Vanessa answers without a hint of shame. That's your job, not mine. Why should I go? And why should I? Julian's got nothing to do with me. Vanessa points at me. You're the servant of the campus queen's family. Buying medicine for the campus queen's friend, isn't that just your job? At that, I turn to Willow. Willow, have you been telling people that I'm your family's servant? I fix my eyes on her. Willow flinches, just slightly. Of course, people simply assumed it, watching her arrive every day in a luxury car, drawing their own conclusions. She never corrected them. She could never admit that her father is just a driver, that she is the daughter of my family chauffeur. Forget the medicine, I'll buy it myself, Willow thinks. Since I like her, refusing to buy medicine for Julian seems normal enough. She glances at me. And the food you ordered? If you didn't buy the medicine, you at least got the food, right? And she'd heard from a classmate that I bought 2 full meals just now. I answer flatly. Ate it. Wait, you ate both? Willow looks almost worked up. I nod. The classmates in front turn to me with disgust. Are you a pig? Finishing 2 whole meals? They're used to fawning over Willow, looking down on me. Before, since they were all Willow's friends, I gave them face, not wanting to offend anyone close to her, hoping they'd put in a good word for me. Now I realize I just spoiled them rotten. Every single time Willow treated them to a meal, it was my money paying for it. What I eat with my own money, 2 meals, is nothing. 20 meals would be well within my right. The classmate hears me, her face darkening, and mutters under her breath, "Your own money? Sure, all your money comes from the campus queen's family anyway." I don't even bother explaining. But beside me, Willow's temper is rising, especially since I didn't even get her food, leaving her without lunch. Her anger finally boils over. "Evan, you brought this on yourself. Let's see how long you can keep it up this time." She stands up, gathering her things, and turns to Vanessa, Julian's deskmate. "Let's switch seats. You sit with him." Every time she's upset with me, this is her punishment, refusing to sit beside me. After all, having her sit next to me was something I begged for in the first place. She was supposed to be my tutor, sitting beside me, helping me study. But looking back now, Willow never actually taught me anything, she only ever ordered me around. She seems to think this will still intimidate me. I don't react at all. Willow, without lunch, and Julian, still sick with stomach pain, sit there with darkened expressions, glancing over at me by the window. This time, Willow is truly furious. She thinks that when I finally come to apologize, she'll make sure I know exactly how much trouble I'm in. When school lets out that afternoon, the Maybach sent to pick me up is waiting at the gate. I walk out through the school gate and go straight to the car. By now, the whole school knows I've offended Willow, everyone waiting to watch me fall flat on my face. Seeing me climb into the car so boldly, they can't help but whisper and point. Didn't he refuse to even buy the campus queen lunch? How does he have the nerve to still ride in her family's car? He's just the servant's son. Does he think he's the master now? Willow isn't even here yet, and he's already getting in. Willow's just too nice for her own good. If it were me dealing with someone this shameless, the son of a nobody, I'd have fired him already. Listening to all the mockery, I don't bother responding. Once seated, I tell the driver flatly, "Drive." The driver glances at me. "But Miss Lane isn't here yet. Let's wait a little longer." Sometimes Willow runs late because of student council duties, and I always used to wait patiently. I'd assumed today would be no different, but the moment I get in, I order him to drive. Seeing the driver ignore my command, and even take Willow's side instead, I can't help but find it absurd. "Mr. Lane, my father only has one son. Where exactly does your family get a young lady from? Did you and Willow have a fight?" "Never mind that, sir. Don't worry, I'll have a word with her later." "No need, just drive." I don't want to ride with her, and I don't want to see her again either. Mr. Lane hesitates, clearly unwilling to follow my order. He knows exactly how much I used to fear crossing his daughter. Every time Willow said something, I never dared argue back. Even if he ignores me now, he assumes nothing serious will happen at worst. Willow might scold him a little, thinking that I'll one day inherit the family fortune, and that money will belong to his daughter. The driver has already stopped seeing himself as just a driver, acting instead like some future father-in-law in front of me. "Are you going to drive or not?" I frown. Honestly, my father wanted to fire him a long time ago, after hearing he'd been gambling behind everyone's back. My father felt someone like that couldn't be trusted around the household, but back then my mind was clouded, and I kept defending him, thinking that if he stayed, Willow could stay close to the Chen family too. I put in a good word for him, even insisted he treated me well. That's the only reason he's kept his job this long, and now, he won't even listen to me, his own employer. They've arrived. Seeing Willow at the gate, Mr. Lane hurries out of the car. Willow is holding Julian up, the two of them walking toward the car together as Mr. Lane opens the door for them. Willow is about to help Julian in. Because he likes Willow and wants to ride home with her, Julian always tags along with us. The driver would drop Julian off first, then take us home. Not just that, every morning, I'd have to get up early just to pick Julian up first. Before Julian can even get in, I speak up. "Didn't you say you weren't riding with me this afternoon? So why is he getting into my car?" The classmates watching burst out, "What's wrong with him? That's clearly the campus queen's car. Acting like he owns it? Letting him ride along was already a favor, and now he won't even let her friend join?" Everyone talks over each other, and Willow's expression stiffens, unable to figure out what's gotten into me today. "I'm giving you a way out and you won't take it? Must you push this?" I even let the lunch thing go. I decided to forgive you. "Evan, are you really going to keep this up? I don't need your forgiveness. Find your own way home, don't ride with me." Willow's face flashes pale, then red with anger. She knows that, in everyone's eyes, she's supposed to be a wealthy heiress. If she doesn't ride in my car right now, won't her whole cover be blown? She simply reaches over and yanks me out of the car, pushing Julian in instead. Willow, don't push it too far. I admit she's really gotten to me. There's so much from before I can no longer stand to remember, but seeing that same look on her face now, I don't know how I ever put up with it, let alone thought she was wonderful. Willow ignores me, clearly not planning to reason with me at all. Drive, she tells her father, and Mr. Lane actually pulls away. I'm left standing there. The crowd watching all burst out laughing. Serves him right, he deserved that. What an unreasonable jerk. I pull out my phone, the one Willow once bought for herself, a cheap Nokia. To please her, I once gave her the smartphone my father gave me for my birthday, and took this old Nokia off her hands in return. Back then I thought that would spare her pride. Now, looking at this beat-up phone, it just seems absurd. I dial my father anyway. Not long after, the Maybach that just drove off comes back, pulling up at the gate again. Mr. Lane gets out, his face clearly not looking great. Young master, it's obvious he's been chewed out. Get those two out of the car, I don't want to ride with them. Mr. Lane turns toward the two in the back. Willow helps Julian out of the car. Julian never expected any of this, his face going pale over and over. Evan, if you don't like me, fine, but you don't need to take it out on Willow like this. She's always been good to you, hasn't she? Willow pulls Julian back. Don't waste your breath on him. Once both of them are out, I finally get in the car. As we pull away, I roll down the window and give Willow a smiling wave. Bye? Mr. Lane glances at me through the mirror, never expecting me to go this far. He can't help but speak up. Young master, arguments happen, that's normal. Don't be upset. I'll have Willow apologize to you later. But she has no ride now, she'll probably have to take the bus. No telling what time she'll get home. Everyone else takes the bus fine. Why can't she? Mr. Lane, have you forgotten who signs your paycheck? If you don't like how I run things, why not just quit? Ordering me around, does he really think that because I liked his daughter he can disrespect me? Mr. Lane, startled, shuts his mouth immediately. Back home, Mrs. Joe sees me. Young master, why did you come back alone? Where's Miss Lane? There is no more Miss Lane in this house. Mrs. Joe freezes at my words. Her young master finally awake. I'd always treated Willow so well, it left her and her father forgetting their place. Many times Mrs. Joe wanted to say something but never dared, afraid I'd get upset. Now, hearing my words, Mrs. Joe feels genuinely moved. She's always been the kindest of anyone on staff toward me, but back then, because she often managed things around Willow, I resented her for it instead. Later, once Willow took control of the household, Mrs. Joe was the very first one thrown out. Remembering all of that, seeing Mrs. Joe again now, my eyes sting. I'm heading upstairs. Of course. Miss Lee came by, I sent her home. Sophia actually comes by often, but because my father arranged our engagement and I was infatuated with Willow, I couldn't stand the sight of Sophia. Every time she visited, I refused to even see her, sending her away without a word. In the end, I barely ever saw Sophia at all. Thinking back, right before I died, it was her people who rushed me to the hospital, and even then, she still remembered she was my fiancé. I stopped Mrs. Joe. I'll go see her. Where is she? In the back garden, playing with Big White. I head out back and find Sophia feeding Big White. I was the one who wanted this dog, but Willow said she disliked dogs, so I stopped going near him. Sophia, it turns out, gets along with him just fine. I remember before I died, hearing that despite all her advantages, she'd stayed single for years. My eyes redden at the thought. Sophia finishes petting Big White and looks up at me. She notices me standing at the gate, unsure how long I've been there. She's about to step forward, then remembers how much I disliked her, and stops. Young Master Chen, Sophia is lovely but composed, mature beyond her years. Despite being my age, she carries herself like someone already in her 20s. As for her grades, she's always ranked first in the province, the one person Willow can't stand. Willow always claimed Sophia only excelled because her family gave her every resource, that with the same advantages, Willow believes she'd match or beat her. Every time Sophia's scores came out, Willow grew visibly upset, and I found myself treating Sophia like an enemy too. But thinking it over, we barely ever interacted. What had she ever done to me? This time, seeing her, I forced myself to stay composed. Is there something you need? I just wanted to see you. When I stay silent, Sophia reads the room. I know you don't want to see me. I'll go. She never expected me to agree to see her at all. She'd only come to visit Big White, and never dreamed I'd let her. For her, that alone is already enough. Seeing her about to leave, I ask, would you like to stay for dinner? Hearing that, Sophia freezes, staring at me in disbelief. Really? Just then, the setting sun lights me up, softening my whole presence. Of course. Right now, Willow still hasn't come home. She's off dropping Julian home. In the past, I would have waited for her before dinner started. Seeing me want to eat so early today, Mrs. Joe looks surprised. Not waiting for Miss Lane? Why would I? The whole household has gotten used to me acting as Willow's simp. Not anymore. Get used to it. Mrs. Joe doesn't press further. Of course, I'll arrange it right away. Oh, and let Mr. Lane know he doesn't need to come in tomorrow. Mrs. Joe pauses for a moment, then quickly composes herself. A master's decisions aren't hers to question. Willow's father, fired. We settle down in the dining room. Sophia had been stealing glances at me, and now that I've sat down, she looks away, uneasy. It never occurred to her that she'd act this innocent. I can't help but want to tease her a little. Why won't you look at me? Am I that hard to look at? My grades might be terrible, but I'm not bad to look at. If Willow hadn't dragged me down the way she did, I wouldn't have ended up like that. No. She looks at me, her expression composed, but if you look closely, her ears have turned red. I smile. By the way, I hear your grades have always been excellent. Facing my sudden warmth, Sophia is still a little thrown off. They're decent. Do you know any reliable tutors? Could you recommend one? Relying on Willow clearly isn't going to work. This time around, I won't repeat my past mistake of assuming my father could protect me forever, never even properly opening a textbook. While I still have the chance, I want to catch up on my studies. Sophia has good resources. If she recommends a tutor, it might actually work out. You're looking for a tutor? As for Willow, she'd once heard I had a tutor and assumed it was a classmate, which is part of why she kept living in my house. Now she's fired. Willow never respected me enough to teach me anything, never had a shred of patience for tutoring, and every cent I paid her went straight down the drain. Sophia looks a little surprised, seeing that I'm being serious, not joking around. She lifts her cup and takes a sip, trying to mask her nerves. I don't actually have a tutor. I study on my own. If you don't mind, I could come tutor you every day. She figured I'd probably say no, given that I never even glanced at her before, and just being invited to dinner today already surprised her, so when she hears my reaction, my face lights up with genuine excitement. Really? Sophia nods, taken aback by her own delight. As long as you're willing, I can do it. Of course, I just worry it'll cut into your own studies. You have your own work too. It's fine, it won't get in the way. Sophia's face stays composed, but her eyes are unmistakably gentle. She'd finished the entire high school curriculum long ago, and already had a guaranteed university placement, but she doesn't dare mention it, afraid it might put me off. Thank you then, my grades are bad, just don't think I'm too dumb. Willow's grades were good too, but she never had any patience with me. The same problem explained once. If I didn't get it, she'd snap at me. My grades used to be average, but after her tutoring, they only got worse. It wrecked my confidence completely. That won't happen here. Then I'll come to your place after school from now on. We eat together. Noticing how quietly Sophia carries herself, I pick up my chopsticks and put some food on her plate. Treat this like your own home. No need to be polite. Just then, Willow, back from dropping off Julian, walks in. She's just gotten the news that her father was fired. Her father had scolded her over it. Seeing that I've started dinner without waiting for her, with every dish on the table already touched, her face darkens instantly. I glance at her indifferently and keep eating. Willow had come here to ask me about her father's situation, but seeing Sophia here instead, she asks, irritated, why is she here? In the past, to please Willow, I never let myself get close to other girls. Whenever Sophia visited, I wouldn't even look at her, sending her away every time, never imagining I'd one day invite her to stay for dinner. She's my guest. Do you have a problem with that? Willow reluctantly sits down, staring at me. You invited her here on purpose, just to make me jealous, is that it? Sophia sits quietly beside me, saying nothing. I turn to Willow. You're overthinking this. Willow, you're not that important. I used to think this woman was my whole world, that everything I had should revolve around her. But given a second chance, all I feel looking at her now is disgust and contempt. Continuing to love someone like her would only drag my whole life into an endless pit. If you think being with other girls is going to make me jealous, Evan, you're really overestimating yourself. Seeing you get close to someone else, I'd actually be relieved. It means you'll stop bothering me all day. With that, she storms upstairs and shuts herself in her room. I'm speechless. The moment Willow leaves, I notice the look in Sophia's eyes grow complicated. Don't mind what she said. I worry she might be upset because of this. My confidence wavers a little, but to my surprise, Sophia doesn't say a word about it. Her manner turns a bit distant. After dinner, I walk Sophia to the door. Be careful on your way home. Sure. She leaves without saying much else, just as quiet as ever. Back inside, Willow comes down the stairs. Whatever cruelty she's capable of later, there's no denying her face, soft-featured, quiet, gentle. In the past, I fell for exactly this look. Now Willow confronts me. Why did you fire my father? She hadn't said this in front of others. She doesn't want anyone knowing she's really just the Chen family driver's daughter. Making a scene in front of Sophia would humiliate her. I answer, exasperated. I don't need to explain myself for firing a driver. That's my family's business. Everything today was my decision. It has nothing to do with him. If you're upset, take it up with me directly. Then just fire me too. The word fire instantly lifts my spirits. I stare at Willow. Fine. No problem. Wait, what did you just say? Willow stares at me stunned. Seeing her reaction, I continue. You've always thought I was stupid, right? So let's just end it here. Move out of my house. I'll find another tutor. Ever since you started teaching me, my grades have only gotten worse. I don't think you deserve what I've been paying you. Willow assumed I was just joking around, but never imagined I'd actually mean it, that I'd truly fire her as my tutor. Your grades are bad because you're just too slow to keep up. The exact same problem. I only need to explain it to Julian once and he understands right away. And you? You're as slow as a brick, and you blame me for that? Any other tutor would get the same result. No one could teach you any better. This is entirely your own problem. I watch her still trying to shift the blame onto me. Just move out of the house. Willow's brow furrows tightly. Evan, you're still a student. Your mind should be on your studies. No wonder your grades are so bad. What are you even talking about? This whole act, isn't it just jealousy because Julian and I get along so well? That's why you're in such a mood. Right now, all I want is to focus on my studies and get into a good university. Unlike you, who could skip school entirely and still be set for life on your family's money. So there's no chance of me being with you. I stare at the woman in front of me, genuinely taken aback for a moment. Then it hits me. Whoever asked you to be with me? Seriously, Willow, where does this confidence even come from? You actually think I'd want to be with you? I never even wanted you in the first place. Without me, you'd be nothing. Willow assumes I'm just being stubborn out of pride. Think whatever you want, but let me remind you of one thing. Next time you invite Sophia over for dinner, don't blame me for giving you the silent treatment. With that, she storms straight back to her room and slams the door shut. I go back to my room and call Mrs. Zhou. Tomorrow, take all of Willow's belongings out of that room. I won't have someone like that trying to climb over me under my own roof. Then I ask for Sophia's phone number and save it. I send her a message. Did you get home safe? But she doesn't reply. The next morning, since I no longer have to pick up Julian, I get to sleep in for once. I assume Willow has already left, but when I come down, she's sitting at the table waiting for me. I take a seat and start on my breakfast. Every day, rushing to pick up Julian, I'd barely had a proper breakfast at home. Seeing Willow sitting there now. I'm not picking her up today. You're welcome to leave early. Once I finish eating, I head out, Willow trailing right behind me. The driver has already been replaced with someone new, who opens the door for me without being asked. I get in, and Willow climbs in right after. I look at her. Campus Queen Willow, what exactly is this supposed to mean? Didn't you say you wouldn't ride with me anymore? Your own words from yesterday. I remember them perfectly clearly. Willow presses her lips together, saying nothing. If her father hadn't insisted she smooth things over with me, she'd never lower herself to this, a boy who thinks a bit of money gives him the right to push people around. Nothing to be proud of in her mind. But her father still needs this job. I don't bother wasting time arguing. Drive, I tell the chauffeur. We reach the school gate. I get out, Willow following close behind. In the past, they always came with Julian in tow, but today Julian has taken the bus alone. Spotting Willow, he hurries over. His gaze settles on me. After my outburst yesterday, he can't quite make sense of it, and nobody's son daring to act that arrogantly toward Willow. Seeing us arrive at school together, he asks, "Did you two make up?" I don't bother responding, walking straight past them into the building. Willow watches my back, completely ignored, her brow furrowing slightly. There's nothing worth arguing over with him, she tells Julian. Still, letting a nobody's son push you around like this, your temper is far too kind. Everyone's talking about it now, saying Evan is the real young master. Don't worry about what people say. My father gets along well with the Chens. He asked me to look out for Evan. I can't just abandon that. Fair enough. Realizing it's really about her father's job, Julian relaxes a little. I reach the classroom. Vanessa is already there, blocking my seat. Move. Vanessa glares at me. You've got some nerve, yesterday leaving the campus queen and Julian stranded like that, while sending the car away yourself. I stare back at Vanessa, letting out a light laugh. It's my own car. I have every right to decide who rides in it. Since when is it your business, and who are you anyway? Seeing me so confident, everyone grows curious. Wait, are you saying that Maybach belongs to your family? What else would it be? I give the person a flat glance. Vanessa lets out a small laugh. Please. Evan, we all know exactly who you are. Still trying to play young master? Do you really think you've earned that? I heard that driver is your own father. Your whole family works for the Lanes. It's only because the campus queen is kind that she hasn't kicked you out already. But you shouldn't push your luck too far. Vanessa is close with Julian, and Julian is often around Willow, so hearing her tell it this way, everyone readily believes her version of events. Willow and Julian appear at the classroom door. Willow's expression looks strained, because what Vanessa was really doing wasn't attacking me at all, it was exposing her. She walks over and tells Vanessa, "Go back to your seat." Vanessa shoots Willow a reluctant glance, clearly sensing her displeasure, and grudgingly clears out her things. Willow takes her old seat beside me once more. I don't pay her actions much mind. I couldn't care less about what she does. She's a teacher's favorite, with plenty of social capital. No one's going to question her over a simple seat change. Sitting beside Julian now, Vanessa is still a little unconvinced. She turns to him. Julian, what's going on with Willow? Evan's practically walking all over her, and she's still defending him. Evan actually moved in with her family. His father asked him to look after Evan. Nothing more to it, don't overthink it. Ah, so that's why. I was wondering why Evan acts like that, even claiming that car belongs to his family. Willow's own phone is clearly expensive. Even her gifts to you weren't cheap. Then look at Evan's phone, it's about the same as mine. And he's still trying to pass himself off as some rich heir? Who's buying that? I sit at my desk, sneaking a glance at my phone. Sophia has finally replied, just a single, It reads as completely cold. I can't help but recall how warm she'd been toward me just yesterday, only for her attitude to turn distant when she got home. A message I sent last night, only answered now. Right then Willow, sitting beside me, notices I'm looking at a message, the contact still saved as Sophia. She can't help but frown. Nothing about him seems to have changed on the surface, yet ever since yesterday, she senses I've become an entirely different person. I pull out my phone and send Sophia a message. Are you still coming to tutor me this afternoon? Sophia replies with just one word again, yes. As long as she's coming, that's all that matters. I don't dwell on it and focus entirely on class. At lunch, Julian comes over to head downstairs with Willow to eat. Willow glances at me without thinking. Aren't you coming to eat? My focus today has Willow genuinely baffled, not dozing off once in class, and right now, carefully organizing my notes. She used to joke that all I ever thought about was her. Turns out I can actually study seriously after all. Seeing me still absorbed even after the bell, Willow can't help asking. But I act as though I haven't heard a word, ignoring her completely. Julian glances at Willow. If Evan's not coming, let's just go ourselves. We'll bring something back for him. No need. I turned down Julian's offer. Julian is a genuinely decent person, at least. That's always been his reputation. Even when people mock me behind my back, Julian's attitude toward me stays consistently kind and easygoing. But I have no interest in owing anyone a favor. I finish organizing my things properly and stand up, heading downstairs without them. Julian walks alongside Willow asking, "What's going on with him? He won't even talk to you. What exactly did you do to upset him?" Willow is just as confused, equally desperate to understand. No matter how coldly she used to treat me, I always used to trail after her like a loyal little dog. Yet starting yesterday, despite her doing nothing differently, I've remained this way. It's genuinely baffling. Oh, by the way, your birthday party this weekend, are you inviting him? This week happens to be Willow's birthday. Last year, her birthday was held at the Royal Court Hotel. I'd booked the venue myself and arranged every single detail, letting Willow invite the whole class a single night that cost hundreds of thousands. Everyone who attended raved about it endlessly, and back then I genuinely believed attending Willow's birthday party was some kind of honor. This year would have been no different. Days ago, I'd already taken care of every arrangement. If I hadn't announced I was firing her father, Willow wouldn't have thought twice about any of this. But after what I said yesterday, and my cold demeanor today, she can't help but start overthinking. If I don't show up, should the party even go ahead? Watching my figure disappear down the hall, Willow tries to reassure herself. Never mind, why am I even worried? He'll definitely show up. He wouldn't dare skip my birthday entirely. Maybe he's just acting cold on purpose, planning some kind of surprise for me. The thought eases her mind a little. She tells Julian he'll come for sure. After all, he's never missed one before. That afternoon, Willow and Julian have rehearsal for a school event. I don't wait for either of them, heading straight home. Sophia has already arrived. The moment I get back, she and Big White come to greet me together. Seeing her standing there, I find myself smiling. Maybe it's the bond carried over from my past life, because now, every time I see her, it feels precious, almost rare. Seeing the smile on my face, Sophia freezes for a second. She'd grown used to my usual cold, willful demeanor. My newfound warmth lately keeps catching her off guard, leaving her a little shy, unable to meet my eyes directly. I smile at her. You're here early. Let's head to the study then. I lead Sophia upstairs. There were quite a few things in class today I didn't fully understand. I was hoping you could help me with them. The two of us settle into the study, Sophia sitting beside me. She's brought along 2 practice tests, wanting to gauge my current level first. I work through the tests seriously, then hand them over. Sophia quietly takes them, studying them for a while in silence. I'm a little embarrassed. I really am this bad. It's not your fault, it's just that your study methods haven't been quite right. Let's start with the basics. I nod in agreement. While teaching, Sophia keeps her head down the whole time, never once looking at me directly, explaining everything with real focus, but her way of breaking down problems is remarkably clear and easy to follow. So much that had confused me before suddenly makes perfect sense the way she explains it. After going for a while, she starts feeling thirsty. The moment she looks up, she notices me watching her, and swallows a little awkwardly before turning her gaze back to the problem set. What is it? Something wrong? I just think you're being really patient with me. But on the phone you're so distant, one word replies the whole time. Is it because of Willow and me? Are you upset with me over that? No. My family came by yesterday, so I was busy. I couldn't reply in time, and by the time I saw your message, it was already morning. If you ever need anything, feel free to just call me instead. Just as we're both absorbed in the lesson, my phone suddenly rings. I quickly pick up, and Willow's voice comes through on the other end. Evan, what is the meaning of this? Now what? Hearing the accusation in her tone, I genuinely have no idea what I've supposedly done wrong this time. You actually had them throw out all my things? I glance briefly at Sophia, not bothering to hide anything from her, and answer Willow directly. I told you yesterday, you're fired, and with that there's no reason for you to keep staying in my house. Isn't that right? I'm in the middle of a lesson, don't bother me. With that, I hang up. Willow stands outside the door, staring at her belongings dumped unceremoniously out. She can hardly believe I'd actually do this, that I'm truly throwing her out. I hang up and turn back to Sophia. Let's continue. She answers with a soft sound, and not long after, the study door bursts open. Willow stands in the doorway, her face dark with fury. Her gaze lands on Sophia and me, a flicker of contempt in her eyes. Seeing her standing there, I rise to my feet. What are you doing here? Didn't you say you didn't like me? That you looked down on me? Now suddenly you can't leave me alone. Willow steps forward, her voice accusing. Evan humiliating me like this. Do you find this amusing? Sophia rises to her feet too, instinctively stepping between us, shielding me. Humiliating you? Seeing Willow this furious, I push back. Are you confused about something? How exactly am I humiliating you? Willow, if anyone's been humiliated here, it's me. Every expense in your life has been on my dime. You and Julian, glued together every single day, while I trail behind you both like some servant. I served the both of you and still had to put up with your indifference. Doesn't that count as humiliation? Now all I'm doing is taking back what I gave you, but somehow, in her eyes, that becomes the humiliation. Willow presses her lips together slightly, staring at me. Don't think that bringing someone else here can pressure me into anything. I could never like you, I could never be with you. With that, she turns to leave and promptly walks straight into the doorframe. I open the window and watch her go down, gather up her belongings, and leave without a second's hesitation, quite the clean exit. Willow has always carried herself with pride around me, poor in circumstance but stubbornly proud, no matter how well I treated her. She'd never bow to the temptation of money. That was exactly what drew me to her back then. Looking back on it now, it just seems absurd. Seeing me standing at the window, Sophia gently reminds me, Evan? Sorry, let's continue. Or maybe I should head home first. You don't seem to be in a good mood. No, actually, I feel fine. I was just thinking back to my past life, to some foolish things I once did. It has nothing to do with feeling sorry for Willow. Watching her walk away like that, I actually feel a quiet kind of relief because now I no longer have to fear for my future. Staying away from Willow means this time I won't fall sick and I won't end up meeting that same fate again. Sophia says, I should get going. She turns to leave and I step forward, catching her hand. Sophia freezes, turning back to look at me. What is it? Honestly, I'm not even sure what I'm doing, but I'm not naive. I can tell she's a little upset. Every time Willow shows up and says the thing she says, Sophia instinctively pulls back, putting distance between us. In the past, Willow and I were painfully close, and I never once hid my feelings for her. Everyone, probably even Sophia herself, must have assumed the same thing, that deep down, I was in love with Willow. And truthfully, once, I really was. If not for the miserable fate I met in my past life, I might never have woken up to who she really was. Seeing her looking at me, I let go of her hand. Are you free Saturday? I want to have dinner at the Royal Court Hotel. Would you like to come along? The food at the Royal Court is truly excellent. In my past life, I essentially starved to death, and now I just want to actually enjoy life for once. If this were before, I would have absolutely brought Willow along. But now, I'd much rather ask Sophia. She's the one my father arranged for me to marry after all. Unless I do something drastic to change that, there's a strong chance I'll end up marrying Sophia once we graduate. I used to think my father was disregarding my wishes with that decision. Looking back now, she's every bit as beautiful as Willow, and on top of that, she comes from a genuinely good family. Would someone like her even look twice at me? If anything, I'm the one getting the better deal. You're not going with her? The her she means is Willow. I ask back, so you actually want me to be with her? You'd rather I go back to avoiding you like before? Of course not. Then it's settled. See you Saturday. That Saturday afternoon, I arrive a little late. Walking in, I spot a fair number of familiar faces already at the door, every one of them dressed to the nines. Spotting me, Vanessa, Julian's close friend, can't help but scoff. Evan, you actually have the nerve to show up here? Why wouldn't I? The owner of the Royal Court is close friends with my father. I'm practically a very important person here. I can come whenever I please. In fact, I'd love to know why exactly I shouldn't be allowed to come. Vanessa lets out a cold laugh. These past few days at school, the campus queen hasn't so much as looked at you. And now, on her actual birthday, you still have the nerve to show up. Right, it's Willow's birthday, today. I'd honestly forgotten, absorbed as I've been lately with catching up on schoolwork. If they hadn't brought it up, it might have completely slipped my mind. Back before, I'd already spoken with the hotel staff in advance since this was Willow's 18th birthday. That year, her 18th, I threw her an extravagant celebration at the Royal Court, sparing no expense. And it was that very day I finally learned the truth. Evan, could you stop meddling in my business all the time? I remember getting upset and ignoring her afterward. A cold war that dragged on for 2 full days, and yet, in the end, I couldn't help but be the one to apologize first. All to convince her to marry me. I even went as far as handing over the company my father left me, foolish beyond words. Now, standing here watching the lively crowd, I have no interest in engaging with any of them. Every part of Willow's arrangement at this hotel, I was the one who set it all up, and of course the bill falls on me too. Now that I've finally come to my senses, I don't feel obligated to her anymore. She actually dares bring this whole crowd here to spend on my account. I'm almost curious. I want to see how she plans to handle this later. I ignore the mocking classmates around me and head straight for the elevator. My table with Sophia is already reserved. I'm not sure if she's arrived yet. The moment I step out of the elevator, I catch sight of Willow deep in conversation with Julian, and she spots me instantly, her gaze locking onto me at once. I knew you'd show up eventually, and here I thought you really wouldn't come. Willow walks toward me, a hint of smug satisfaction in her voice as she teases, "Didn't you say you wouldn't come? And don't think showing up now means I've forgiven you for what you did. Evan, I'm still upset with you." She's always like this, using her anger to force me into giving in. I glance at her, the corner of my mouth lifting slightly. "Something wrong? Weren't you coming for my birthday? Why exactly would I be celebrating your birthday? Didn't you leave me off the guest list yourself? You've already got half the class here for your birthday. One less guest shouldn't matter much." "Evan, what exactly are you getting at?" Willow looks at me, growing visibly irritated, still stubbornly refusing even now to let her touch even her own birthday. She's determined to provoke a reaction. Right then, the restaurant manager walks up to me, addressing me. "Young Master Chen, has Sophia arrived?" The manager nods. "She's already here. Please lead the way." The manager starts to guide me towards Sophia, but Willow trails after me. "Evan, have you had your fun yet? You're actually going to see Sophia? Is she just too soft-hearted to say no to you?" I glance at her. "You're the one causing a scene here. First you didn't want me clinging to you, said I annoyed you, and now that I've stopped, what exactly is the problem? Your friends are still waiting for you." As I speak, I glance over at Julian, hesitating on whether to follow. He seems unsure whether it's his place to intervene. Julian has never seen Willow act this eager around me before. Of course, I know exactly why she's suddenly so insistent. It's not that she can't bear to lose me, it's that she can't bear to lose the money in my pocket. Before, she never liked me at all, yet had no trouble enjoying everything I gave her without a second thought. She'd verbally refuse my gifts while accepting them all too happily. Now that I've stopped paying her any attention, she's starting to panic after all. A birthday party this elaborate can't just fall apart at the last minute. If this is about my relationship with Julian, I can keep more distance from him. Can you please just stop making a scene? For once, remarkably, she's the one backing down, which alone shows just how much this party actually means to her. Makes sense. If she didn't care so much about appearances, she wouldn't have kept up the wealthy heiress act at school, or invited half the grade to celebrate her birthday. Turns out, even she's afraid of losing face. Having seen Willow play the untouchably elegant heiress for so long, watching her fold now, just to salvage a party, I find it almost entertaining. I nod along. "I know it's your birthday today, no reason to ruin the mood for everyone. Right?" With that, I turn to the manager. I'd already reserved a room here earlier. The Jade Room, under the name Willow Lane. The manager checks the records. "That's correct, young Master Chen. Since it is Miss Lane's birthday today, let's have the room set aside for her." I finish speaking and turn to Willow. "That should settle it, shouldn't it?" Willow, relieved to hear me give ground, exhales a breath. "So this whole thing really was just to keep Julian and me apart. You just can't stand seeing us together. You're reading way too much into this. Who you're with means nothing to me. Willow, give it time, you'll understand eventually. Without me, Evan, you're nothing." The manager stands quietly to the side, clearly embarrassed on Willow's behalf at having said such a thing aloud. "I'm done wasting words on you." She turns and walks off without hesitation. The manager glances at me. "I'll have the Jade Room set up right away then." I nod in response. "One more thing, make sure she covers the bill herself before anyone leaves. No one walks out until it's paid." "Fine, young Master Chen, once everything is arranged, I'll go find Sophia." Willow returns to Julian's side. Julian sees the dark look on her face. "How did it go? What were you two talking about?" "Nothing special." She glances at Julian, gentle and attentive as always. "Once today's birthday party is over, he'll have nothing more to do with me. He'll never give me another kind look again." Just as I walk in, she's focused on flipping through the menu when she suddenly hears a sound. She looks up and meets my eyes. I smile. "Have you been waiting long?" "No, I just got here too." Sophia watches me closely. I casually sit down right beside her. Sophia didn't expect me to sit so close. She feels a little uneasy. There are plenty of other seats I could have taken. I don't notice her discomfort at all. "Have you ordered yet?" "Not yet, still looking." "Let me see." I lean in, tugging her hand as I look over the menu. Sophia can't focus on the menu anymore. She's too busy watching me. I want something with a strong flavor. Somehow it reminds me that I'm still alive. Those days of hunger, cold, sleepless nights, and sickness, they were pure torment for me. Even now, after being reborn, I sometimes still dream of going back to my past life. It's too spicy. I fan my mouth with my hand, then take a sip of watermelon juice. Sophia asks, "Do you like spicy food?" "It's fine, I actually like it a lot. What about you?" "I like it too." She says it agreeably, picking up her chopsticks. In their private room, a waiter stands by, ready to serve. Before long, the owner of the Royal Court Hotel walks in. His name is Nathan Zhou. Seeing him, I greet him politely. "Uncle Nathan." Nathan looks at me, a smile tugging at his lips. "Evan, you're here too." The moment he says it, I realize he isn't here for me. Sure enough, Nathan turns toward Sophia. He addresses her politely. "Miss Lee, welcome to our hotel. If there's anything we haven't done well, please let me know." Only because he's close with my father does he know Sophia's true identity. Most people have no idea who she really is, or that the young heiress of the Lee family from the capital is hiding away in Yun City. Sophia gives a brief acknowledgement, then goes back to eating. So cold. I used to think she was a warm person, but seeing her now, I realize Sophia doesn't like talking to people at all. Nathan lingers a moment, personally pouring her a glass of water. She still says nothing. That "keep your distance" aura fills the whole room. Finally, Nathan gets the hint. I'll leave you to it then. Please, enjoy your meal. Wait, Uncle Nathan. I call out and stop him. Hearing my voice, Nathan pauses, then turns back. Young Master Chen, what can I do for you? His smile is warm and friendly. He really does seem like a warm person, which is why I've always liked him. Except if I remember correctly, in my past life, the Royal Court Hotel caught fire just 3 days after Willow's birthday party. The cause was inadequate fire safety in the kitchen. Once the fire broke out, they found the extinguishers didn't even work. The fire even caused casualties. Because of that, the Royal Court Hotel, once the top hotel in Yun City, never recovered after the incident. I heard Nathan even fell ill over it. I look at Nathan and ask, your hotel's fire safety isn't an issue, is it? Caught off guard by the question, Nathan looks at me in surprise. Why the sudden interest, young Master Chen? I just think it might be worth having someone check it thoroughly, especially the kitchen. Don't worry, our fire safety is flawless. Nothing to worry about at all. We take full responsibility for our guests. I just look at him quietly. Uncle Nathan, why not go check it yourself? Seeing how insistent I am, a flicker of displeasure crosses Nathan's face as he stares at me. What exactly are you implying, young Master Chen? Don't you believe me? Your father and I are close friends. He knows my character well. Your father knows I run my business with integrity. You're questioning my character. I'm about the same age as his son. In his eyes, I'm just a kid. What would I know about this? Sophia speaks up. Since he's asked, why not just go take a look? Ever since Nathan walked in, Sophia hasn't said a word to him. Whatever he asks, she gives short replies, and now is no different. Nathan gives her real respect. I'll go right away. Sophia stays composed, and with her status, even though she's only about my age, her words somehow carry more weight and win people over more easily. Once Nathan leaves, I turn to Sophia surprised. Why help me? I only made the request. Because I actually know a great deal, but from Sophia's point of view, she shouldn't know any of this at all. Hearing what I said, she says, you asked. Helping you is just the natural thing to do. Aren't you afraid I was just making it up? What difference would that make? Sophia says even if it was a joke, it's not a big deal. It just means he has to go check it out. She says it all with total calm. But watching her, warmth surges through my chest, the feeling of being deeply trusted. It takes me back to the moment I was diagnosed with HIV. No one believed I was a victim. Everyone said I'd brought it on myself. If I really had done something reckless, I'd have accepted the blame. But everyone condemned me anyway. They were disgusted by me. I even started to hate myself. I never imagined it was Willow who deliberately had someone use a needle from an HIV patient and used it on me, just so she'd have an excuse not to marry me. Only the person who set you up truly knows how wronged you really are. Sophia and I linger over dinner a long time. Even after we finish, we don't leave. I brought my homework along and get it done while we're there. Sophia helps me with a few problems, and we stay until nightfall. As Willow's birthday party wraps up and everyone gets ready to leave, everyone is stuck there because Willow hasn't paid the bill. Willow calls me. I don't pick up the first time. Sophia sits beside me, watching as I let it ring. I know exactly who it is. I ignore it until Willow calls twice more. Only then do I answer. Evan, what's your problem? Willow's voice is boiling with fury. The angrier she gets, the better I feel. Sure, I want nothing more to do with her, but the debt from my past life still needs settling. Otherwise, I can't swallow this grudge. I smirk. What's wrong, Campus Queen? Why so mad? Get over here and pay the bill. Willow lowers her voice. Don't cause trouble. She'd figured that, once the party ended, she'd walk away and never deal with me again, but she never expected me to be waiting for her here. Now she has no money to pay, and everyone is stuck because of it. Everyone's waiting on her. I say, that's strange, it's your birthday, I wasn't even invited. Why would I pay the bill? Why not split it with your classmates? Everyone can chip in, they've always been so good to you, after all. You've all got a great relationship. You treat them to meals all the time. I used to give Willow well over 100,000 yuan in allowance every month, and Willow took it without a shred of guilt, convinced the tutoring money was rightfully hers. She was generous with it too, treating everyone to meals now and then. Everyone thought Willow was rich and wanted to be close to her, but the money she spent was mine all along. Evan, do you really have to do this? What exactly do you want from me? Come pay the bill. If you're asking for a favor, act like it, don't you think? Through the phone, I hear Willow let out a sharp, resentful breath. I'm not falling all over myself for her like I used to. Of course she's furious. I smirk. Not willing, huh? Fine then, I'm hanging up. Please. Willow grits her teeth, gripping the phone. The staff have them all blocked and no one can leave. I hang up, stand, and tell Sophia, I'll be right back. I walk all the way to the Jade Room, where everyone from the party is still gathered. They're all still stuck there, every eye fixed on Willow, waiting for her to pay. The atmosphere turns painfully awkward, no one can leave. Willow has no choice but to stand there, facing everyone's stares. Just as I appear, the manager walks over. Young Master Chen, he greets me. I look around the room, everyone dressed up, looking their best. This afternoon, they all look down on me. Now none of them dare put on that same arrogance. After all, nothing is more humiliating than being stuck here, unable to pay. What's going on here? Isn't this Campus Queen Willow's birthday party? Doesn't look like anyone's having much fun. I deliberately look Willow over. Her expression is darker than anyone else's. Julian stands off to the side, clearly unsure of what's going on. Miss Willow hasn't paid the bill. I just asked them to settle it. Ah, is that all? Not a big deal. No need to make a scene. They're all my classmates. I'll cover tonight's bill. I hand over my card as I say it. The manager takes it and heads off to charge it. Everyone's expressions turn complicated as they look at me. It's Willow's birthday party, and yet she's the one who made me come pay? What is even happening? Can't she pay for herself? Willow feels her face burning. She stares at me. No wonder I came so easily. My whole point was to embarrass her. To make sure everyone knows she's broke, dependent on my money. She could have quietly settled the payment herself, but instead I made a spectacle of it, insisting on swiping the card in front of everyone. This man must be out of his mind. Before long, the manager finishes the transaction. He hands the card and receipt back to me. It's done, young Master Chen. Here's the bill. I glance it over, then deliberately read the number aloud. 860,000 yuan. Happy birthday, Willow. I'll cover it for you this year, but there won't be a next time. I glance at Julian as I say it. He's standing right beside me, his face already draining to an ashen gray. Wait, Willow's money all came from Evan? Wasn't she supposed to be a rich heiress? For everyone watching, the scene is nothing short of humiliating. Vanessa steps forward. Evan, what kind of joke is this? Just because Willow's money passed through you doesn't make it yours. You're just the child of their family's servant. You were only holding it for her. What are you so smug about? Your family's money gets kept by a servant? I turn to Vanessa with a light smile. Since you're saying I'm the son of Willow's servant, let me set the record straight. Her father is my family's driver. That day outside school, he ditched me to drive Willow and Julian off instead. He's already been fired. If you don't believe me, why not just ask Willow? I turn my gaze to her as I finish. Isn't that right, campus queen? She glares at me, eyes burning with resentment. In all her years, no matter how poor she'd been, she's never endured humiliation like this. Now everyone's watching her fall apart, and there's nothing she can say. After all, I could easily take my payment back and leave her stranded here. She ignores me and storms out. Julian, having witnessed all of this, follows right after her. What he just saw is almost too much to bear. Still, he has no choice but to leave. He never expected that she's the driver's daughter. So why had she pretended to be a rich heiress all along? Once the two of them are gone, I glance around the room. If there's nothing else, you're all free to go. Be careful on your way home. It's getting late. One by one, everyone files out of the Jade Room. I watch them go, then finally step out of the Jade Room myself. The manager walks with me to the entrance, seeing me to the elevator. Sophia arrives just then, and we step into the elevator together. I stay quiet, unusually still. Even though I just cleared up my identity in front of everyone, it doesn't actually make me happy. Compared to all the suffering I went through, a punishment this small for Willow does nothing to ease the resentment in my heart. Seeing me stay silent, Sophia doesn't push. When we reach the ground floor, Nathan is waiting there. He hurries over. Evan! This time I'm his focus, not Sophia. Uncle Nathan! Nathan grips my hand. Evan, thank you so much. If it weren't for you, our hotel would have been in serious trouble. I went and checked it myself and found all kinds of problems. It's all because my cousin was careless. I've already sent him packing. It's the least I could do. Nathan asks, curious, how did you know our fire safety was a problem? The question catches me off guard. I have no choice but to make something up. I had a dream about it last night. Hearing my answer, Nathan can't help but laugh. All right, I won't ask any more. By the way, I had some gifts prepared for the two of you. He signals to his assistant nearby, who brings the gifts over 2 small gift bags. Thank you. Whatever you need in the future, don't hesitate to ask. He knows full well what he owes me. Nathan sees us out the door. The Lee family's car has already arrived. Sitting inside, I stare out the window. At this hour, there aren't many pedestrians left, though traffic is still heavy. There's a bit of a jam. Usually, whenever Sophia and I are together, we have plenty to say, but tonight it's unusually quiet. Sophia doesn't press me. She's just thinking about how I somehow predicted the fire safety issue. Logically, there's no way I should know more about that hotel than Nathan himself. As for what happened in the Jade Room, she's heard about that too. Today is Willow's birthday, and instead of being by her side, I stayed with Sophia the entire time. That alone is one thing, but then I went and humiliated Willow like that too. I really do want to be completely done with Willow. So why do I look so downcast right now? In truth, the sadness only lasts a moment. Then it fades, because I know I've been reborn. Everything can still be made right, as long as I don't repeat the mistakes of my past life. There's still time to fix so much. Soon enough, exhaustion catches up with me. Studying hard every single day lately really does wear me out. I feel like I could sleep forever. Drowsiness is already setting in. Before long, I lean over against Sophia and drift off to sleep. Sophia freezes, not daring to move. By the time we reach the Chen residence, her arm has gone sore. She doesn't dare shift, afraid of waking me, so she stays perfectly still. Miss, we're here. Sophia glances outside, then her gaze settles on my pale, sleeping face. She hesitates over whether to wake me. By now, the driver has already stepped out, waiting outside, but Sophia still doesn't wake me. I feel the car stop. Waking up, I glance out the window and realize we're already home. Only then do I look up at Sophia. She's sitting there quietly, not even daring to look at me. I rub my slightly stiff neck and straighten up. We're already here? Sophia nods. Then why didn't you wake me? You look so peaceful sleeping. As always, her face stays completely blank when she speaks. I look at her and notice her ears turning red. I remember she's always been quite innocent, but I never expected her to be this pure. Hearing me say her name, Sophia looks at me. I ask her, "Are you afraid of me?" "No." "Then why won't you look at me? Whenever we're together, you seem like you can't stand me." Sophia clears her throat softly. "I'm just not used to being this close to someone. You're the first." Hearing that, I can't help but laugh. "Then why don't you just push me away?" As if trying to prove she isn't being led around by me, Sophia asks, "Why did you and Willow break up? Didn't you like her a lot?" The question catches me off guard. I stare at the empty street ahead. "I just realized I don't like her anymore. It's nothing. I'm heading in." I've barely stepped out of the car when the gates of the Chen residence slowly swing open. "Dad!" Mr. Chen walks up to the doorway. The moment I see him, my eyes light up. "Dad, you're finally back." Mr. Chen has always been busy with work. Most of the time I'm home alone. There's no shortage of servants in the house, but hardly any of them can keep me in line. That's one thing, but even my father spoils me so much that he barely disciplines me, always figuring that as long as I'm happy, it's fine. Having my father dote on me made for the most carefree days of my life. Except in my past life, my father warned me not to fixate on Willow so much, and I never listened. This time, seeing my father come home again, his expression is stern at first, wanting to reclaim some fatherly authority, but he never expects me to suddenly pull a stunt like this, bursting into tears. Mr. Chen panics instantly, gently patting my shoulder. "What's wrong, son? Who bullied you? Was it that little brat Willow? I heard you fired both her and her father." I hug him. "It's nothing. I just missed you. You silly kid, I call you more often than usual, and you still complain I'm annoying. Oh, is that the Lee family's car?" Sophia has already stepped out. My eyes are still red, and being seen like this by her feels a little embarrassing. "Sophia gave me a ride home. We went out for dinner tonight." Mr. Chen glances at me, clearly surprised. When he first brought up the engagement, I had been dead set against it, even insisting I would never have anything to do with Sophia. And now here we are, having gone out together. Though he has no idea what's gotten into his son, Mr. Chen turns to Sophia. "Sophia, come in and stay a while." "Uncle Chen, thank you, but I won't come in. I should head back for today." She glances at me once, then turns and gets into the car. The Lee family's car drives off. Only then do I follow my father back inside. "Did Sophia bully you?" Seeing my red, aggrieved eyes, I shake my head. "No, she's actually really good to me." I sit down on the couch. My father keeps his eyes fixed on me. He's still so young right now. Of course, he wasn't old even when he passed away later, but I always remember him looking so much older by the time he left. Mr. Chen asks over and over, making sure confirming that Willow hasn't wronged me, before he finally relaxes. Sunday morning, I've just woken up when Mrs. Zhou tells me Willow has come. Last night's scene flashes through my mind. Willow and I are already completely done with each other. She should know by now that I won't be spoiling her anymore. I never expected her to show up. I head downstairs and find it's not just Willow, her father is here too. Mr. Lane sits on the couch addressing Mr. Chen. "Mr. Chen, it's all our Willow's fault for not knowing better. I've already scolded her. She won't bully Evan again." Mr. Chen's brow furrows. "Is my son's name yours to say?" He's long disliked the Lane family, and if it weren't for fear of his son cutting ties with him, he'd never have tolerated them at all. Mr. Lane realizes he's overstepped and quickly apologizes. Young master." Seeing me come down the stairs, he hastily averts his eyes. "Good morning, young master. I brought Willow here today specially to apologize to you in person." I turn to look at Willow. She sits there, her expression dark and sullen, not saying a word. Apologize? I don't buy that Willow is here to apologize. Every inch of her face screams reluctance. Clearly, she's still fuming over last night. There's no way she'd actually apologize to me. "Mr. Lane, what are you talking about? Willow hasn't wronged me in any way. There's nothing to apologize for. But I heard you fired her." When Mr. Lane himself got fired, he hadn't even seemed this worried. His monthly salary wasn't much anyway. He worked long hours day in and day out, but Willow was different. She only had to tutor me a little, and she got paid handsomely for it. Maybe she even thought the whole Chen fortune would one day be hers. Now that things between us have fallen apart, there's no way Mr. Lane would agree to let her keep tutoring me. My grades have only gotten worse these past few years, and Willow herself felt she wasn't up to the job. I'm just too dumb she couldn't teach me anything, so I decided to grant her wish and let her go. Honestly, there's no conflict between us at all. She hasn't done anything to upset me. There's no need for an apology. Mr. Chen glances sideways at me, watching how calm and composed I look while saying all this. Before, I'd insisted on having Willow tutor me, leaving her no choice but to agree. Now I'm the one who fired her. Mr. Chen is a little taken aback, and somewhat moved too. His son has finally grown up. "I've got class now, and I need to eat." Mr. Chen has someone see the father and daughter out. After breakfast, I head out the door. The driver is already waiting in the courtyard. I get in the car. As we pull out of the Chen estate, I see Willow still standing by the gate. Her father is there too, and unlike his gentle manner inside just now, Mr. Lane raises his hand and slaps her hard. I know Willow's whole story. Her father is a gambler. Her mother couldn't take it anymore and abandoned Willow when she left. All these years she's lived with her father, borrowing money from relatives just to stay in school. As she got older, she found ways to manage on her own. Even under these circumstances, she still managed to excel at school, always ranking first in her year. That's exactly why I always cared for her so deeply, why I looked after her so closely, giving her everything I could, just so her life could be a little easier. But while I ached for her, she never once ached for me in return. She only ever saw me as a walking ATM. I was never the one who mattered to her. I look away and head straight to school. Because of what happened yesterday, everyone's attitude toward me seems to have softened noticeably. Classmates start approaching me on their own. Evan, is your family really that rich? So, all of Willow's money really did come from you? And here we all thought she was some rich heiress. Didn't you all already know by now? We're just still processing it. Young master, why not take a look at me instead? I promise I'd be far more obedient than Willow ever was. I look at the girl saying this, and hearing her words, I can't help but laugh out loud. Just then, Willow appears. Just because I said no, you had to do this to me? Evan, no matter what tactics you use, I, Willow, will never like you. Someone like you, bad grades, coasting on a bit of family money, thinking everyone should just revolve around you, young master. You don't even measure up to one of Julian's fingers. Hearing Willow bring it up, everyone suddenly remembers I've always ranked near the bottom of the class. Not only am I Willow's simp, I'm apparently a total airhead too. Before I can say a word, Willow brings up last night's party. You're the one who made me invite everyone. I didn't even want to go. But in the end, you deliberately humiliated my classmates. Do you think just because you have money, you can trample on other people's dignity? And don't you dare twist the truth claiming you supported me. That money was just payment for tutoring you. I won't take another cent from you from now on. And don't expect my help ever again either. The moment Willow finishes, she switches seats with someone, making it painfully clear she wants nothing more to do with me. She's back to playing the cool, untouchable top student act. Always the same routine. I haven't forgotten how she was begging me for help just last night. At first, seeing her father hit her, I felt a small twinge of pity. Now, looking back, I think well-deserved, and I won't be indulging her anymore. Tutoring? Willow, you really have the nerve to bring up tutoring. Ever since you started tutoring me, aside from spending my money, have you actually done a single useful thing? My rock-bottom grades every single month are exactly what your tutoring produced. Willow says flatly, without expression. I've told you before, you're just too dumb. That has nothing to do with me. Evan, since you're so rich, why not spend some of it buying yourself a new brain? The moment Willow says it, everyone around bursts into laughter. I look her over, that self-righteous expression of hers. Are you sure it's me who's dumb, and not your teaching method that's the actual problem? Willow thinks of Sophia, knowing I've already had Sophia tutoring me instead. She lets out a light scoff. Fine then, how about this at the next monthly exam? Let's see how you do, it doesn't have to be much. As long as you move up 100 places in the grade rankings. I'll admit I was the problem. She's clearly curious to see whether Sophia can really teach anything into that hopeless brain of mine. Deal. I look at her, she's only asking me to move up 100 places, not even setting a particularly high bar. That alone shows just how little she thinks of me. Seeing me agree, Willow turns to the crowd. You all heard that. He agreed himself if his rank at the next monthly exam doesn't move up 100 places. I, Willow, will punish myself with a 10-kilometer run. Whoa, everyone's eyes turn to her at once, all buzzing with excitement. Vanessa looks at me. Since the campus queen's on the hook for 10 kilometers, how about you run 10 kilometers too if you lose? Though, Evan, can you even handle that? If you're too scared, just admit defeat now. Deal. 100 places isn't that hard anyway. Especially since I've been studying with Sophia these past few days, her way of explaining things is so clear, and I can genuinely feel myself improving. So I agree without hesitation, it'll push me to work even harder anyway. People need a goal to stay motivated. Seeing how confidently I stand my ground, Willow can't hold back a scoff. Idiot. Then she sits down, honestly stunned that I actually agreed. Whenever she'd explained problems to me before, I could never answer a single question. She knows my level all too well, and now she's already looking forward to watching me run 10 kilometers. They've just made their bet. Julian is standing at the door, having heard everything Willow just said. He'd been in low spirits all night, but now, something clicks into place for him. Willow is brilliant and beautiful, and even if her family isn't well off, her hard work and drive put her 100 times above an airhead like Evan. Even relying purely on her own ability, she's bound to succeed one day. With that thought, he walks over to her. Willow, even if your father's just a driver, he still earns his living with his own two hands. And your grades have always been the best. Coming from a tough background, and getting this far can't have been easy. I'll always stand firmly behind you. The moment Julian says this, all the classmates who'd been doubting Willow are suddenly moved. And looking at Willow again, she's always been a top student. People never liked her just because of money, it's because of her character and talent. Evan, on the other hand, doesn't even try, and yet still wants people to flock to him. Absolutely shameless. Thanks to Willow's takedown, everyone now sees me as a hopeless airhead. I'd finally shed the label of simp and servant son, only for people to start avoiding me again, this time because of my grades. Honestly, I don't care much. Compared to the loneliness and helplessness of my past life, this is nothing at all. After all, I still have money and parents who love me. I focus on class and don't bother with them. After school, my father drives up with my mother to pick me up. They're both in their 40s this year, but back in their day, they were the golden couple of their school. Even now, that same effortless charm hasn't faded a bit. My mother steps out of the car, and the moment she sees me, she pulls me into a warm hug. She then thoughtfully opens the car door for me. Willow and Julian have just walked out of school, and they happen to witness the whole scene. A few classmates walking with them can't help but grow curious, seeing me with an older woman. That woman must be in her 40s. What's her relationship to Evan? The others start speculating. I knew it, there's no way Evan is actually a young master. Guess we really did think too highly of him. Willow doesn't even bother clarifying for me. Julian glances at Willow, and since she stays silent, he assumes everyone's guess must be right. A sudden sense of relief washes over him. Sure, my academic performance isn't great, but my family's wealth lets me drop tens of thousands in a single night without a second thought. That's always bothered Julian, a nagging feeling that he was born a rung beneath me. Now, though, he feels balanced again. At least he'd never do something so shameless. He'll rely on nothing but his own hard work to achieve his dreams. Someday, whatever I have, he'll have too. Julian and Willow board the bus. Willow says, I won't walk you today. She can't earn tutoring money from me anymore, so she's picked up a part-time job. She's racked up so much gambling debt of her own. Her father has helped himself to plenty of her earnings in the past. Now she has no choice but to fend for herself. Julian, meanwhile, has it easy. My own parents take me out and buy me a brand new phone, then take me out to eat. While we're having dinner, Sophia has already arrived. She lives in Yun City with her uncle, who's on close terms with Mr. Chen. Tonight counts as a formal meeting between our two families. Mr. Chen had wanted to arrange this for a long time, but I always fought it before, fixated on Willow and no one else, which is why this dinner never came together until now. The fact that I'm willingly here today fills Mr. Chen with quiet relief. His son has finally grown up, finally willing to listen. Throughout the meal, he chats happily with Sophia's uncle. I sit next to Sophia, telling her about the bet I made with the others, how I need to move up 100 places in rank. Once I finish explaining, Sophia doesn't say much in response, just a simple acknowledgement. I can't quite read her. Does she think I've been reckless? Is the pressure going to be too much? After hearing what I said, Sophia looks at me. No. Then do you think I actually have a shot? Even though the problems you've explained lately, I can follow just fine. It's fine. Sophia looks at me. Just leave it to me. And you're actually pretty smart, not nearly as dumb as some people say. The some people she means is obviously Willow. What Willow said about me being dumb, Sophia hadn't said anything at the time, but she'd clearly taken note of it. Hearing this, I smile. Hearing you say that puts my mind at ease. So I'll be relying on you a lot these next few weeks. Of course. As we're talking, I suddenly notice the room has gone quiet. I look over and realize my father and Sophia's uncle are both watching us, which leaves me a little flustered. Dad, why are you staring? No reason. Carry on, you two. Mr. Chen goes back to chatting with Sophia's uncle, though inwardly he can't help but marvel the two of them really do seem to get along. Even though he'd arranged this engagement himself, he can't shake this odd feeling like his troublesome son is about to be swept away. After dinner, Mr. Chen and Sophia's uncle still have business to discuss, so Sophia and I step out first. We don't head straight home. We find a cafe, and since I'm craving ice cream, I go buy some. Once I finish ordering, I walk back and sit down beside Sophia. We keep going over problems together, my mind still packed with everything from class. After all, that 10-kilometer run is still hanging over me. It could very well be the death of me. Here's your order. The server arrives quickly with our things. I look up, and the person standing there in a server's uniform is none other than Willow. Startled, I stare at her. What are you doing here? Willow gives me a cold look. That's my question to ask. Did you know I worked here and come just to spite me? Even though I've kept my distance from her lately, Willow can still tell in her mind. Deep down I still like her, and I'm just trying to force her hand. Otherwise, why else would I show up at the exact place she picked up a part-time job? That's way too much of a coincidence. You're overthinking it. Pure coincidence. Willow glances once at Sophia, then doesn't linger any longer. She turns and walks away, clearly unwilling to waste another second with either of us. Watching her arrogant, self-important attitude, I genuinely can't figure out what she has to be so proud of. I turn back and offer the ice cream to Sophia. She declines. You have it, she says, reaching over to pick up my bag for me. Then we walk out of the cafe together. Honestly, I'd planned to stay a bit longer, but running into Willow of all people really put a damper on the mood. Over the following 2 weeks, I study relentlessly, every single day. Sophia comes to the Chen house often to tutor me, and my grades start improving noticeably. Still, whenever Willow catches me being this serious about studying, she can't resist a jab. Evan, if you're already regretting this, it's not too late to give up now. Otherwise, once the results come out, don't come crying to me. It's you who's bothering me. I frown and immediately put my earbuds in. The monthly exam finally comes to an end. I'm in unusually high spirits and I rush straight home. Even though the results aren't out yet, I feel like I did quite well. Sophia is sitting in the courtyard, sipping tea and keeping Big White company. Big White has been getting rounder by the day. I walk over and scoop him up. You got here early today. I'm here early most days. I've been wondering, don't you have other activities at school? Willow, being a top student at their school too, along with Julian, always seem to have plenty on their plates. But by comparison, Sophia seems far more relaxed. Every time I get home, she's already there waiting. I have more freedom. No one keeps tabs on me, so there's no school activities to worry about. I don't join student council, and I don't join clubs either. Sophia shakes her head. I do compete sometimes, but usually I skip it. Why? Because it's boring. And the teachers think it's overkill anyway. It makes the other students lose confidence. But I feel like I've seen you compete a lot, actually. Like those competitions Willow used to enter, she said you're always there too. And you even beat her the very first time, which is why she despises you so much. Sophia lifts her cup and takes a quiet sip. Any competition Willow enters, she rarely misses. I'm desperate to know how well I've done, so right there in the courtyard, Sophia and I go through the answers together, and I've gotten most of them right. My mood soars. When the results finally come out, the homeroom teacher walks into the classroom. As usual, she praises Willow and Julian first and second place yet again. After that, she adds, but this time, there's one more name I have to mention. That person is Evan. At those words, I snap to full attention. Willow glances at me, her eyes full of mockery. The teacher continues. Evan did really well this time. He's been at the bottom of the class for a while, but this round shows huge improvement. His score has landed him inside the top 200 for the entire grade. If he keeps up this effort, he'll definitely do well come the college entrance exam. Top 200? At those words, every eye in the room goes wide. Even Willow freezes for a second. She'd expected moving up just 100 places would be a stretch for me. Now I've landed in the top 200? Honestly, even I hadn't expected that. Such a massive leap, even I couldn't have imagined it myself. Maybe it's because of everything I suffered in my past life. I have no patience left for chasing empty pleasure. That's probably why I take class so seriously now. I listen closely every single day, then review everything with Sophia afterward. And she really has a gift for teaching. Even the toughest problems suddenly feel manageable once she walks me through them. Proof that hard work really does pay off. Are you sure there's no mistake, Ms. Bennett? There's no way Evan could pull off something like this. I certainly haven't made a mistake. The teacher looks at me, calm and matter-of-fact. She'd always found it a headache having a student like me dragging the class average down. But now here I am with a leap this dramatic. Getting the teacher's confirmation fills me with satisfaction. Willow, watching quietly beside me, says, Well, weren't you saying I was too dumb? Don't forget 10 kilometers. Willow presses her lips together, genuinely baffled. How could someone that dumb improve this much? Is Sophia really that good a teacher? After school, Willow is forced, reluctantly, into her 10-kilometer run. I don't even bother heading home. I stay behind specifically to watch her suffer through it. I sit quietly off to the side, glancing over at her, watching her stumble through her defeat. A strange, satisfying thrill washes over me. Honestly, it feels incredible. Julian watches from nearby, seething at how heartless I've become. Vanessa's eyes drift toward me. She mutters to Julian. So what, top 200? What's the big deal? He's acting like he came in first place or something. Even our campus queen didn't gloat this much when she took first. And our Julian came in second, too. Julian's gaze settles on Willow, and he says evenly, A bet's a bet. Willow isn't someone who can't take a loss. Exactly. So what if his grades improved? Aren't people still going to talk behind his back? Julian, you're just too kind for your own good. Vanessa gives Julian's shoulder a light pat. By the time Willow finishes her 10 kilometers, the sky is already darkening. Drenched in sweat, she walks back over, looking at me. Satisfied? I nod. Well earned. Feel free to bet against me again any time. With that, I rise to my feet and stroll out of the school, brimming with satisfaction. Willow watches my figure disappear into the distance. I'm in such a good mood, I even find myself skipping little steps along the way. In her memory, I'd always been the pathetic simp trailing after her, yet now I don't even bother sparing her a glance. Thinking of me and Sophia, is she really going to end up with him for good? Both his family and Sophia's are well off, a perfectly matched pair. If the two of them really do end up together the moment that thought surfaces in her mind, Willow finds it deeply unsettling, like something that was rightfully hers has been snatched away. Willow. Noticing her staring off in my direction, Julian asks, Are you exhausted? Drink some water. He hands her a bottle of water. Willow reaches out and takes it. Thanks. In front of Julian, she always comes across so polite. Julian says, You worked hard today. Still, it's strange. Evan's grades have always been so bad. So how did he suddenly improve this much? He couldn't have cheated, could he? I bet he cheated just so the campus queen would lose the bet. Otherwise, how does it make sense? She tutored him every single day, and his grades stayed terrible. But now he suddenly jumps this much? Only you would say something like that. Julian shoots Vanessa a glance. Without any evidence, you shouldn't spread accusations like that. If he comes after you for it, you'll be the one dealing with the consequences. Vanessa insists. I'm telling the teacher tomorrow. I ride home in the car, eager to share the good news with Sophia. After all, getting Willow to admit defeat is thanks to Sophia just as much as me. But Mrs. Joe tells me Sophia hasn't come today. My spirits sink a little. I turn and go change clothes, then head down to the dining room to eat. My father's been away lately, so it's just me alone in the house. I dial Sophia's number. She's swimming at home at the moment. A maid gently reminds her, "Miss, you have a call." The figure in the pool doesn't seem to hear. The maid adds, "It's Evan calling." Sophia surfaces from the water, gliding gracefully up out of the pool. The maid hurries over, wrapping a towel gently around her shoulders. Sophia takes the call, and the sharp edge in her expression instantly softens into something gentler. "Are you busy? Not interrupting anything, am I?" "I was just swimming. I heard you didn't make it over today, so I thought I'd call and tell you something." I say, grinning. My scores jumped a ton this time. I actually made it into the top 200. And guess what? Willow had to run 10 kilometers today. Watching her get put in her place was incredibly satisfying. Sophia walks over to a nearby lounge chair, settling in, listening patiently as I share my joy. After a moment, I ask, curious, "Are you still there?" "I'm listening." "Congratulations. This call isn't a bother, is it?" "Not at all. I've got the time right now. You've been coming over to tutor me every single day lately. You must be exhausted. Maybe take a couple days off. I can study on my own for a bit, and if I need anything, I'll just message you on QQ. "That works." Sophia doesn't rush to end the call. "You sound a little down. Did something happen? Do you need help with anything?" The question catches her completely off guard. Sophia thinks to herself she doesn't feel like she's behaved any differently than usual. Yet somehow, I managed to pick up on her low mood just through the phone. Seeing her go quiet, I say, "I know you're not the type to talk about what's bothering you." She keeps her feelings tucked away inside. "But Sophia, the two of us are partners in crime now, right? You've helped me so much, I want to help you back. If it weren't for you tutoring me, there's no way I'd have scores like this. I can't just take your help and effort for free, especially when you don't even need the money." Hearing what I say, Sophia, especially with me framing our relationship as partners, can't help but let out a helpless smile. "Fine." The next day, I arrive at school to find the homeroom teacher walking in, her face grim. Standing at the podium, she looks furious, radiating an intense oppressive tension. Her eyes lock onto me. "Evan, stand up." I stand, staring at her in confusion. She says, "Someone has reported you to me for cheating on this month's exam. Do you have anything to say for yourself?" The word cheating hits me. I glance around the room and find every single pair of eyes fixed on me, especially Vanessa, sitting right beside Julian, wearing a smug, satisfied grin. I look at the teacher with a serious expression. "Ms. Bennett, may I ask what evidence there is for this accusation?" She replies, "Your scores last month were painfully low, and this time you improved so drastically. It's honestly hard to explain. Just to be safe, we've decided to give you a different set of questions and have you retake the exam. Any objections?" Hearing that I'm to be retested, of course I'm not thrilled. Vanessa, unable to contain herself, jumps up. "See? I knew you cheated. If it's really your own honest score, what are you so afraid of? What's the harm in retaking it?" Watching her smug expression aimed straight at me, as if she'd caught me red-handed, I find it almost laughable. "You reported me for cheating without a shred of proof. The burden of proof falls on the accuser. It's on you to provide evidence, otherwise this is nothing but slander. If everyone got to run over and accuse me like this whenever they felt like it, I'd be retaking exams forever. At that point, I might as well stop coming to class." The moment I start speaking, even Willow stares at me, a little startled. My old self used to be so soft-spoken. Whenever anyone got aggressive with me, I could barely hold my ground. But this time, my reasoning is sharp and clear. Is this even still the same person? She's known me for so long, knows me inside and out, yet somehow, I feel like an entirely different person now. Seeing me push back with such solid reasoning, the teacher says, "It's not unreasonable for people to question you. Retaking the exam is also a chance to prove your innocence. You wouldn't want everyone whispering doubts behind your back forever, would you?" Seeing that the teacher keeps insisting, clearly not convinced that I earned this score fairly, I smile. "Ms. Bennett, of course I'm willing to retake the exam. I just think being accused this baselessly is honestly absurd. We're classmates after all. For Vanessa to question me like this, who knows what her real motive even is? If I score even higher next time, won't she just find some new complaint? So since she chose to accuse me with zero evidence, she ought to face some consequence for it. If it's proven I didn't cheat, how about she gets expelled?" Expelled, the moment that word lands, the teacher hesitates. Vanessa's grades are better than mine, so naturally, the teacher's a little inclined to favor her. She accused me of cheating for no clear reason, and news like that spreading around would seriously damage my reputation too. If I couldn't handle the pressure from everyone and did something drastic to myself, wouldn't that be far worse? The moment I mention hurting myself, everyone's expressions turn tense at once. I turn to Vanessa. "Weren't you so sure I cheated? Not willing to bet on it now?" "Of course I am." Rising to my challenge, Vanessa agrees at once, declaring indignantly to the teacher, "Ms. Bennett, I'm willing to bet my own future on this. Everyone here knows exactly what kind of student Evan is. I'm certain he absolutely cheated. He's just stalling and making excuses instead of retaking the test." Convinced I'm simply covering for myself, Vanessa tells the teacher, "But if it's confirmed Evan cheated, then he should be expelled too. I don't want to be in the same school as someone like that." Before the teacher can respond, I've already agreed. The teacher then says, Evan, after class, come find me in my office. With that, she walks out. Vanessa looks at me like she's already savoring my downfall. Willow watches me too, and seeing me gamble something as serious as expulsion, can't help but urge, Evan, are you sure about this bet? If it turns out you actually cheated, you're the one getting expelled and it'll be even more humiliating. If I were you, I'd just go apologize to the teacher now. A monthly exam isn't worth all this. If you apologize sincerely, I could even put in a good word with the teacher for you. After all, you already got what you wanted. You watched me run 10 kilometers. I'm willing to let it go. Seeing Willow put on this act of concern for me, I stare at her. She's barely spoken to me in weeks, playing the aloof, untouchable act, and now suddenly here she is, pretending to care. I smirk. You think my score came from cheating too, don't you? That's exactly why you're putting on this fake concern. If you really wanted to help, go talk some sense into Vanessa instead. She's your good friend after all. Though Vanessa's the one out front, Julian isn't exactly innocent in this either. He's simply gotten used to hiding behind that calm, indifferent persona of his. I don't buy for a second that none of this involves him. In my past life, I saw exactly who Julian really was crystal clear. Every single time things got rocky between me and Willow, he'd be right there on the sidelines, tossing out sly little digs, a total two-faced snake. Willow, thinking she'd offered genuine advice, is caught off guard by my refusal to take it, and her expression turns cold. I'm trying to help you, can't you even tell? Help me? I look her over, curious. What, the waitressing job not working out? Regretting it, and looking to mooch off me again? At the word mooch, Willow's face darkens. She stays silent, her expression grim. Truth is, work hasn't been going well lately. Her schoolwork already keeps her busy, and student council piles on even more, leaving her exhausted every night before she even gets home, and the pay barely covers her expenses anyway. I'd spoiled her into extravagant habits, and only now is she discovering just how brutal it is to scale back. Especially with me, she'd assumed I was just a spoiled young master throwing a temper tantrum, expecting it to blow over in a few days. But now, what's actually happening, he's genuinely stopped chasing after her. Before, no matter how badly she treated him, he'd always come crawling back. Seeing her stay silent, offering no rebuttal, I smirk. Are you still expecting me to sulk for a few days and then come crawling back to win you over like a fool? Honestly, I understand where she's coming from. After all, I'd once gotten so used to spending freely myself, and then after being thrown out of the family, those penniless days left scars I'll never forget. If you'd lived a modest life from the very beginning, maybe none of this would matter, but once you've gotten used to living large, living in poverty again, that pain was unbearable. Back then, I'd lie in bed every day, fantasizing about the day Willow would suddenly come to her senses, realize I was innocent, come forgive me, and take me back. But I waited, and waited, right up until the day I died. She never once believed me. All I got was news of her marrying someone else, and the truth that she had framed me. Willow's life now can't be easy either. After all, I supported her for a long time. No need, Willow says, pressing her lips together. If you still think I'll come crawling back to comfort you, that's wishful thinking. If you want me to come back to you, why not beg me instead? Maybe if I pity you enough, I'll be a little nicer to you, even give you some money. I say this with a smile, though inside I feel nothing but cold. It's not that I'd actually forgive her if she begged, I just really want to see Willow grovel in front of me. She's too proud, and I can't stand that about her. In my last life she got me killed, and this time I'm not letting her off so easily. So I might as well dangle a little hope in front of her. Willow says, "Don't count on it," she says coldly, and doesn't look at me again. I'm in no hurry. After class I head to the teacher's office. Besides Ms. Bennett, Mr. Grant is there too, along with 2 other teachers from the same grade. They give me a new set of questions to take. Afterward, several teachers grade the paper together and reach a conclusion my score is genuinely excellent, proof enough that I didn't cheat on the monthly exam. Ms. Bennett looks at me a little surprised. Looks like you really didn't cheat. But why were your grades so poor before? I think back to how blindly obsessed I used to be over Willow. I was foolish back then, didn't study seriously. My family recently hired a new tutor, and it's clearly working. Maybe only someone who has left school truly knows how precious those school years were. After all, school is one of the few places that's actually fair here. If you work hard, you see the results. Once you leave school, you learn just how cruel the real world can be. I head back to the classroom. Ms. Bennett and Mr. Grant come in together to announce the results. Once it's confirmed I didn't cheat, Vanessa's face goes pale with panic. That's impossible. How could he not have cheated? Ms. Bennett's face turns cold. The atmosphere in this class has gotten really unhealthy. Classmates are supposed to support each other, but jumping to conclusions about someone whose grades improved is the worst kind of blow to deal them. I hope everyone learns from this. I look at Vanessa. You said you drop out, you're not going back on your word, are you? Looks like you are. So there really are people who can't even keep their own promises. If that's the case, don't make bets you won't honor next time, Evan. Julian, seeing his friend under attack, steps in to smooth things over. We're all classmates, there's no need to be like this. Vanessa did it for your own good. Worried you might do something rash. She didn't mean any harm. Just give her another chance. The moment Julian speaks up, the other students turn to me too. Yeah, expelling her is way too harsh. I curl my lips into a smile, looking at all these faces so quick to talk when it costs them nothing. They're really just giving Julian face whatever he says goes. I look at Julian. You feel that sorry for her? Then why don't you drop out in her place? Julian presses his lips together, staring at me, and his eyes quickly well up with tears, as if I've wronged him, prompting everyone else to turn on me. Vanessa's the one who offended you, not Julian. Why say that to him? Right, Julian's always stuck up for you too. He treats every classmate the same. Seeing everyone gang up on me, I raise an eyebrow. The same, huh? I doubt it. If I were the one being expelled today, would he speak up for me too? Of course I would. I've always told everyone to be a little nicer to you. Enough, I say. I can't stand his fake nice act. I turn to Vanessa. Fine, don't drop out. You're clearly not someone who keeps her word anyway. So since you don't want to drop out, how about running 20 kilometers instead? Vanessa stares at me, realizing just how vicious I really am. 20 kilometers, isn't that basically a death sentence? She's never had any talent for sports. If you can't finish it, then drop out like a good girl. I let out a scoff and sit back down. Honestly, whether Vanessa drops out or not doesn't affect me much, but if I let this go unpunished, everyone will think they can walk all over me next. She has to pay some kind of price. Fine, I'll run, Vanessa says. Not just run while you're at it. Apologize loudly. Tell everyone you wrongly accused me, that I didn't cheat, and let everyone know exactly what you did. Isn't that a bit much? You'd be humiliating her in front of the whole school, is what you mean? Compared to you, I'd say I'm being quite merciful. After class, Vanessa goes off to run her 20 kilometers, the price for not dropping out. She has no choice but to run. I don't just sit idle either. I take a seat on the steps nearby to watch every lap, with no intention of letting her off easy. Naturally, her stamina is nowhere close to Willow's. She's slow, and having to shout the whole time on top of it, she's soon exhausted to the point of near collapse. Julian walks over to me. Evan, Vanessa already knows she was wrong. Just let her off this once. She doesn't have Willow's stamina. 20 kilometers will kill her. So the implication is, if their rumors had driven me to my death, that would have just been what I deserved? But you're perfectly fine now. You're not the type to do something drastic anyway. I turn my gaze to Julian's face. The afternoon light falls on him, and with the light behind him, his features are lost in shadow, unreadable, carrying that same air of looking down on everyone. I remember, before I died horribly in my last life, Julian went out of his way to call and mock me. Whether Julian had a hand in what Willow did, I'm not sure, but he knew about it the whole time. Together, they got me killed, and now he has the nerve to call me the one who's gone too far. You really have no shame. How long are you going to keep playing the harmless good guy act? Do you really think I should be like everyone else, agreeing with whatever you say, letting you have your way? If you don't like it, go run in Vanessa's place. Stop sniping from the sidelines. Seeing Julian under attack, Willow walks over. Evan, that's enough. Don't go too far. Julian was only warning you out of goodwill, worried something might happen that you couldn't handle. I look up at her. What, the beauty coming to the hero's rescue? Too bad it's him who provoked me. If you don't want to get scolded, stay out of my way. Every gift you gave her before that was all my money. You don't actually think she wants nothing in return, do you? What's there to want from your family? You're broke, and you've got a gambler for a father. Julian only knew Willow's father worked as a driver. He had no idea the man was also a gambler. He glances at Willow, and seeing her face darken, he doesn't have time to dwell on her family's business. He turns to me. Evan, you clearly dislike me and keep targeting my friend. Is it because of Willow? You think I stole her from you? Then I'll give her back to you. Julian, don't say things like that. I don't even like her. Fine, Willow, keep her for yourself. I don't take back trash. Before Willow can respond, I continue. As for you saying I'm bullying Vanessa, the whole school knows it was her who bullied me. This is already me being generous. If she doesn't want to run, she can just drop out. I'm not stopping her. I used to try so hard to be a good person, to build a good reputation, never bullying anyone. And in the end, I was the one who got bullied. This time around, I just want to live for myself. I don't care what anyone thinks of me anymore. Seeing me so far gone, Willow turns to Julian. Julian, he's like this, there's no point worrying about him. If something really happens to Vanessa, he'll regret it, and it'll be too late. Let's go. With that, she pulls Julian along and walks away from me. Vanessa's stamina gives out. She collapses after only 10 kilometers, and Willow and Julian call for help, rushing her to the hospital. I follow along to the hospital too. Willow shoots me a look, half gloating. Happy now? Very. Why wouldn't I be? I pick up my phone and call the hospital director, having him arrange the best doctors available. Then I cover the entire medical bill. Willow and Julian had originally hoped to use Vanessa's collapse as leverage against me, but now there's nothing left for them to say. Julian stays by the hospital bed, watching as Vanessa wakes up. Are you okay? He asks gently, patting her shoulder. How are you feeling? Everything hurts, Vanessa says, playing up the pity act while I stand there sipping a yogurt drink at leisure. The specialists already examined you. You're perfectly healthy. Just terrible stamina. They suggest you exercise more. And don't forget tomorrow at school, you still owe me the other 10 kilometers. Vanessa's eyes go wide. She just collapsed. And he's still thinking about making her run 10 more? Is this guy just plain vicious? Are you trying to kill me? Relax, you won't die. If you pass out, the whole hospital specialist will be at your service. Seeing Vanessa's face flush red with anger, I arch an eyebrow and say sweetly, "What, thinking of backing out? Or would you rather drop out instead? You're going too far. I hear both your parents work at Jingtian Group." Hearing me bring up her family's business, Vanessa stares at me, wide-eyed. "Evan, you looked into me. So what if I did?" Vanessa clenches her fists. "I'll go finish it tomorrow." "Good, then I can rest easy. The medical bill's already paid. Don't worry as long as those 10 kilometers aren't done, even if you drop dead. I'll have the doctors bring you back to life." With that, I walk out the door. Willow watches me leave, the coldness in my expression making her brow furrow. Once Vanessa's condition is stable after N4 and some rest, Julian and Willow take her home. I don't sit idle either. Once I'm home, I take photos of the payment receipt and the hospital's diagnosis and post them in the class group chat. I've seen too many people play the victim card, and I'm not about to leave anyone room to twist this against me. Once it's all handled, I finally lie down in bed. The next day, Vanessa obediently runs her remaining 10 kilometers. After this whole ordeal, she doesn't dare act arrogant in front of me anymore. Even if she's still resentful deep down, she only dares to talk behind my back, never daring to challenge me to my face. The others grow a bit more wary of me too. Everyone's seen what happens to people who cross me, especially given how wealthy I am. Cross me, and I'll still pay your medical bills. No one calls me a simp anymore now, and no one brings up my bad grades either. Monday afternoon, just as I step out of school, I spot two rather beautiful girls standing by the gate. Judging by their uniforms, they must be from number 1 High. Wow, she's gorgeous, that's Blair, from number 1 High's tennis club. Before, Willow was all I ever noticed, and I never paid much attention to anyone else. I think I've heard the name Blair before, but I have no memory of what she looks like. This time, I get a proper look at her. She's got a great figure, though when it comes to real beauty, she's nowhere near Sophia. I don't know how I was ever so blind in my last life that I turned Sophia down. Looking at her now, I finally realize just how stunning she really is. She outshines everyone. My driver's already waiting at the gate. Just as I head for the car, Blair steps into my path. "You're Evan, right?" Blair studies me with curious eyes. "And who are you?" "I don't believe we know each other." Blair's lips curve into a small smile. "You've been the hot topic on the forums lately. Words even reached our school. Some say you're not someone to mess with. The story of me disciplining Vanessa has apparently been retold in vivid, exaggerated detail. I find it amusing rather than annoying." I ask calmly, "You're Blair?" Blair's eyes widen in surprise. "You actually know who I am? Don't tell me you've got a crush on me. I'm not the type to freeload off anyone." She clutches at her chest as she says it, as if me asking her name were some kind of violation. Watching her act so self-absorbed, I find it almost funny. "Is your family too poor to afford a mirror? If money's really that tight, I'll spare some cash so you can buy one and take a good look." "Me interested in you?" With that, I sling my bag over my shoulder and walk off. Stung by the insult, Blair feels her pride take a hit. "Hey, what kind of way is that to talk to someone?" "I happen to be quite pretty, thank you." I completely ignore her and get straight into the car. Blair stands there and slowly a smile creeps across her lips. "Evan, was it? Daring to call me ugly, I'm going to remember this." By the time I get home, Sophia has come by. She'd been gone for several days, and now she's finally back. Not having seen her in days, I greet her with extra warmth. "All done with whatever you were busy with?" Sophia stands up. I glance at her and realize just how stunning she is. "I thought maybe tutoring me had gotten too tiresome, and you weren't coming back. I even looked into hiring other tutors recently, but none of them teach as efficiently as you do." "No, I just had a lot going on." "You don't have to explain yourself to me, just having you willing to tutor me makes me happy enough. If you have other things to take care of, go ahead." In my last life, I treated her so badly, and yet in the end, she still thought of me. She even had her people collect my body. Compared to what I did to her, a few busy days on her part barely register as an issue at all. Hearing this, Sophia nods. "Let's start the lesson." So Sophia and I head into the study together. After days apart, I've built up a whole list of questions for her about my homework. Sophia sits beside me, watching. She's seen the online buzz about me too. Of course, she'd been a little worried, wondering if I'd taken it hard. But seeing me now, looking perfectly fine, the concerned words she'd prepared go unspoken. Sophia's phone buzzes with a text. She glances at the screen. It's a message from Blair. Even though Sophia had already agreed to help me, I always worry she might change her mind after all. Sophia tends to be pretty unpredictable. Sophia replies with a simple, "I'm heading over to your school this week." "What for?" I look at her surprised. "There's a tennis match held at number 8 High's courts. Then I'll come cheer you on." Hearing this, Sophia gives a small nod. She remembers how, every time she'd seen me before, I'd always been trailing after Willow, as if that girl were the only person I could see, blind to everyone else. Maybe she'd never once registered on my radar, but now, hearing me say I'll come cheer her on, a faint, barely noticeable pleasure tugs at Sophia's lips. The match takes place Thursday afternoon. Even before it starts, the school is already buzzing with excitement. Everyone whispers among themselves number 1 High's women's tennis team has always been strong. Blair came to our school that day. She's absolutely gorgeous. Please, she's nowhere near our campus queen. Willow truly is excellent in every way, good grades, skilled at tennis, and beautiful too, which is why she has so many admirers at school. Julian's been in a foul mood these past few days, especially since I brought up Willow's father being a gambler. It's been eating at him. He's seen that kind of gambler before. I keep my eyes on my book, not bothering with any of them. If this were before, and Willow had a match, I'd have been the first one shutting down anyone who dared cheer against her. Looking back now, that whole act seems almost laughable. Since everyone's been gossiping about me being with an older woman, the others are all busy cheering for Willow instead, not bothering to invite me. Someone's discussing, I heard Sophia's from number 1 high 2, wonder if she'll show up. She's the only one who's ever outranked Willow on every single exam. Her name has clearly left a strong impression on everyone. She probably won't come. I hear she rarely shows up to matches. Just catching a glimpse of her is rare enough. Watching them talk about Sophia, Willow's expression darkens, her whole demeanor turning uneasy. Her gaze drifts slowly toward me, and seeing me absorbed in my book, irritation stirs in her chest. Does he really not intend to come cheer for me? Studying this hard every day, she says to me. Does it actually mean anything to you? Surprised she's showing interest in my life, I curl my lips into a smile. Of course it does. Unlike you, my grades weren't good to begin with, so naturally I need to put in more effort. What, can't stand to see me improve? Why would I mind you improving? I'm this rich already, and this good-looking. If my grades ended up beating yours and Julian's too, how would you two even live with yourselves? Willow lets out a light laugh. Evan, you have improved, sure, but you barely scraped into the top 200. The higher you climb, the fiercer the competition gets. Who knows? You might drop right back down next time. You think I'm worried about you overtaking me? Making it into the top 200 was already a miracle. Willow doesn't believe for a second that I could ever surpass her. As for Sophia surpassing her, that's because Sophia is genuinely gifted. Willow can never quite figure out how her brain even works. But she's certain no amount of effort could ever let me catch up. Not after years of her own head start. I say flatly, who knows? The future's impossible to predict. Not worth explaining to you anyway. I need to go get ready for the match. As she says this, she stands up and walks out of the classroom. Julian, seated beside me, has been listening to the whole exchange between Willow and me, his fingers curling into fists without him realizing. Still, he generously walks over and asks, Evan, we're heading over to cheer for Willow in a bit. Want to come along? Ever since I cut off contact with Willow, she stopped giving Julian gifts too, and he's come to feel that he really needs to pull me back into their camp. He can't afford to have me cut ties with them for good. If I kept liking Willow, I'd keep spending on her, and neither he nor Willow would have to scrape by. Now Willow's stuck juggling part-time jobs every day, barely earning enough to support herself, let alone afford rides home like before. The difference from when I used to support her is night and day. The moment I hear Julian's suggestion, I turn him down flat. I'm not going. Why not? Honestly, Willow still cares about you. She speaks well of you often. Either way, we used to all be friends. There's no need to make things this tense. I glance up at Julian, remembering how, in my last life, in order to get Willow to marry me, I'd handed over my family's company to her. Back then, Julian was always right there in the middle, singing Willow's praises, so generous, never once seeming to mind whether he might end up competing with me for her. I used to think Julian was a genuinely good guy. Only later did I realize it wasn't that he didn't mind. He knew perfectly well that Willow was in love with him and would never fall for me, while her staying with me brought her plenty of benefits. Hearing Julian defend Willow now, I'm not falling for it this time. I have standards when it comes to who I call a friend. Julian falters. Seeing me refuse to give him face, the others rush to his defense. Forget it, Julian. Why even bother with him? If he doesn't want to come, fine, leave him. With that, they head off, ready to cheer Willow on. After some hustle and bustle, everyone heads to the gymnasium. Willow has already changed into her athletic gear. She stands in front of Julian, who watches her with the corners of his mouth lifted. The moment she spots me arriving, Willow's gaze lands on me. Didn't you say you weren't coming? Julian follows Willow's line of sight and sees me too. Watching the two of them, I ignore them both and head straight for the stands, looking for a decent seat. After a bit of searching, I finally find a spot near the front, deliberately keeping some distance from Julian and the others. I've barely sat down when no sign of Sophia yet, but I do spot Blair, whom I'd run into a couple days earlier. Blair walks up to me. Evan, about you insulting me last time, shouldn't you apologize? I can't help letting out a cold laugh. Are you sure it wasn't you who provoked me first? If she hadn't said what she said, I wouldn't have snapped at her. Blair looks at me, puzzled. How did I provoke you? Spreading rumors about girls, if not you, who else should I be mad at? That's just what everyone's saying. Well, everyone also says you're gay. Does that make it true too? Blair, instantly on guard, demands, who said that? Watching her actually take it seriously, I can't help but laugh. Blair shoots me a curious look, refusing to let it go. Last time when you asked around for my name, was it because I'm genuinely speechless? Guess you still haven't looked in a mirror since I told you to. Blair presses on. Who's prettier, me or Willow? Sure, Willow's the campus queen at number 8 high, but Blair figures she can hold her own against her. I laugh. What, you interested in her? Afraid of what I might say next, Blair quickly cuts in. I mean, do I have a chance with you? You liked her so much before, why not fall for me instead? She flips her hair deliberately as she says it and shoots me a wink. A nearby guy can't help but gasp, so pretty. I've never witnessed such a cringeworthy pickup line before. I don't bother responding. Just then, a scream erupts across the gymnasium. I glance toward the entrance and see it's Sophia walking in. Today her team's uniform is pure white and she's wearing number 11. Everyone had been fixated on Blair up until now, but the second Sophia appears, every pair of eyes in the room instantly shifts to her, stunned that Sophia actually showed up. Spotting her, Blair abandons our conversation entirely and rushes over to her. Sophia! Seeing her, I can't help but grin, waving at her enthusiastically. Sophia spots me, her expression staying as composed as ever. Blair stands quietly beside Sophia, following her line of sight, and sees me waving at Sophia like an overeager fan. She twitches her lips. So that's why she wasn't interested in me, she's got her eyes on my Sophia instead. Too bad Sophia has never gone for guys, never once giving any of them a second glance. This one's bound to be disappointed. Sophia and Blair head off together to warm up. Willow doesn't miss my besotted expression the moment Sophia appeared, acting like a total simp. She lets out a soft mocking laugh. Julian, watching her, asks, "Is Evan actually into Sophia now?" The truth is, the instant Sophia walked in, even Julian had been momentarily captivated by her presence. But he knows full well that someone like Sophia is completely out of his league. She excels at everything, supposedly comes from a wealthy family, and word has it she isn't even interested in guys. Compared to Willow, there's no way he'd chase after someone with zero chance of reciprocating. Sophia has better grades than I do, comes from a better, wealthier family than mine. If I'd been after Willow, he could understand that. But me setting my sights on Sophia? That Julian genuinely cannot wrap his head around. Willow doesn't respond. I'm off to warm up. She'd assumed I'd come here for her, only to find out I'd actually come to cheer for Sophia. Willow feels unbearably irritated. She'd always assumed that the moment I stopped watching her every move, she'd finally feel happier than anyone, since I used to cling to her like glue, impossible to shake off. But now that I no longer depend on her at all, she finds herself endlessly irritated instead. It's always been this way. She's always regarded Sophia as her greatest rival. Back during the time she lived at the Chen household, she'd already sensed that Evan's father intended to arrange a marriage for me, and that person was Sophia. Back then she'd thought, so what if Sophia outshines her in every way? The man Sophia would marry belonged to her, Willow. Entirely, Sophia didn't even look twice at me. Whenever she thought about it, her heart would swell with satisfaction. After feeling so inferior for so long, finally getting to savor a moment of triumph. But now that I've actually shifted all my attention onto Sophia, Willow looks distinctly uncomfortable. Vanessa is standing beside Julian, and seeing me seated on the opposite side of the stands, I go buy some water, handing some out to the guys sitting near me, some of whom have talked trash about me before. Not that it's surprising, since they're not even in my class. Bad-mouthing me was to be expected. But now, actually spending time with me, they realize I'm not so bad after all. The ones who accept my water start looking at me with noticeably softer eyes. Is he trying to win people over? With Sophia here, he's probably desperate to show off. You mean he's actually trying to pursue Sophia? God, he must have lost his mind being this bold about it without even trying to hide it. I just saw Blair talking to him earlier too. Is he seriously chasing anyone decent looking now? Julian lets out a sigh. He's got the means to back it up. Blair, honestly, isn't even at school to study. She's got it rough too, in a way. If she had parents keeping an eye on her, things might have turned out differently. Vanessa scoffs. What's there to pity about her? You're just too soft, always making excuses for everyone. Vanessa only dares to mock me behind my back these days, never to my face. The women's tennis match kicks off soon after. I watch intently. Today's match is especially fierce. Right from the start, both Blair and Willow rack up 2 code violations each in quick succession, stunning the whole crowd. Under normal circumstances, a match wouldn't turn this intense right out of the gate. Willow had originally shown up with Sophia in mind, convinced she had to outplay her to make me look at her again. She might not love me, but she can't stand the thought of me not loving her. She wants to prove to me that she's the one truly worth my devotion. Instead, Blair comes charging in out of nowhere, targeting her relentlessly. For Sophia, a match like this is practically effortless. She's not even at the varsity level herself. Though no one high's varsity team is quite strong, playing alongside them, Sophia is still clearly on a different level entirely. After a few rallies, she starts coasting through the match. I watch quietly from the side, noticing how completely different her whole approach is from everyone else's compared to Willow, who's playing flawlessly, desperate to win. Sophia looks like she's just here to have fun. When the first half ends, at the rest area right in front of me, Sophia sits watching Blair intently, unblinking. Fighting this hard today? She'd noticed Blair fixated on Willow the entire time, something Blair never used to do before. Some guy called me ugly, so I need to work hard to prove myself, show him what I'm made of. Sophia hears Blair's words but doesn't think much of it. After finishing her water, Blair turns around and spots me sitting in the stands, flashing a grin and calling out loudly, "So am I fierce or what? I just destroyed your precious Willow." The moment Blair says this, Sophia beside her shoots her a glance. And for reasons Blair can't quite explain, she suddenly feels a chill run down the back of her neck. Compared to Blair's fiery enthusiasm, I notice Sophia's warmth toward me falls conspicuously short, for instance. Right now, even as Blair turns to look at me, Sophia doesn't spare me a glance, just sitting there. It's simply her nature to be reserved, probably not one to seek attention in a setting like this. But the more distant she is, the more intriguing I find her. I grin and call out, "Sophia, you're so fierce out there." Hearing me shout that toward Blair's side, she scoffs. She's clearly doing it on purpose, still holding a grudge from our argument a few days ago. Sophia glances over at the outspoken Blair. Is that so? As the second half begins, Sophia suddenly plays with real intensity. In the first half, Willow and Blair had been trading blows evenly, fighting neck and neck, but once Sophia steps in for the second half, Willow stands no chance against her at all. The match ends in a decisive, overwhelming victory. Number 8 High loses badly, and Willow of course suffers the worst defeat of all. People used to constantly compare Sophia from number 1 High with Willow from number 8 High, the rivalry so persistent that everyone's opinions had solidified around it, that the two were nearly equal in skill. Today's match, though, finally reveals the truth. Willow simply cannot compete with Sophia on any front. Watching Sophia score point after point, I can barely contain my excitement, realizing I'd never truly paid attention to who Sophia really was before, never known just how skilled she actually is. Looking at it now, I really had been blind before. Vanessa and Julian had rallied a group of people, intending to cheer Willow on, but this time, they find themselves at a total loss for words. Meanwhile, on my side of the stands, most people are already Sophia's fans, and everyone's absolutely thrilled. I'm even more excited than any of them, staring at Sophia without blinking, even letting out quiet little shrieks of excitement. Vanessa rolls her eyes. He's probably forgotten he's even a number 8 High student. Good thing Sophia isn't interested in her, otherwise she'd be nauseating to be around. The words have barely left Vanessa's mouth when Sophia, having just finished her match, walks straight toward the stands and stops right in front of me. As she approaches, the other guys around let out envious sighs. Sophia says, "Give me some water." Her voice is soft as a spring breeze, delicate and smooth. I never imagined someone could be this outstanding and have such a captivating voice too. The guy sitting closest to her quickly holds out a water bottle, but Sophia doesn't take it. She's looking straight at me. I have no choice but to pick one up and hand it to her. "That was amazing." My voice comes out soft, and those few simple words are enough to make the corners of Sophia's mouth lift. Under my gaze, she tips her head back and drinks the water down in a few quick gulps. Blair, who'd been planning to show off herself, watches the whole scene with wide eyes. What is even happening? She'd worked so hard all day trying to prove herself, determined to win her over, only for Sophia to swoop in first. And the thing is, Sophia has never once shown any interest in men, even during matches. She always brings her own water, avoiding any contact with guys whatsoever. She hates people getting close, and at school, she's always kept everyone at arm's length. So why now could it be that Sophia's actually fallen for him? The thought leaves Blair utterly stunned. Once Sophia finishes the water, she looks at me and says, "I'll go change first. We'll head home together after school." Sophia turns and walks off. Blair stares at her wide-eyed. "Sophia, do you know him?" Sophia answers with perfect composure, "I'm pursuing him." Noticing Blair staring at her, Sophia asks, "What, you have an issue with that?" Blair wouldn't dare. Of course not. She'd simply never expected that I would be the one Sophia had her eye on, especially now. Recalling everything she'd said in front of Sophia earlier, Blair could slap herself. She rushes to apologize to Sophia. "I really didn't mean anything by it. I had no idea he was, if I'd known, I never would have said that." Sophia's expression stays perfectly calm. "It's fine, he's not interested in you." "So, where do things stand between you two right now?" "Nowhere yet. He hasn't noticed me that way. Even though I'm officially her tutor, Sophia figures I probably don't see her that way, since I'm hung up on Willow, and she's likely just someone I'm using to provoke Willow. Still, being useful to me in that way doesn't bother her much. Just being able to stay near me already makes her happy enough." Hearing Sophia say this, Blair can't help but glance back once more at me, still standing in the stands. I'm standing there, looking her way, having shouted so earnestly earlier, assuming I belong to her, only to realize it's actually Sophia who's the one simping. Compared to how composed the two people involved seem, everyone else is buzzing like they've just overheard the juiciest gossip of the day, and in the group chat, everyone launches into an eager, heated discussion. Wait, is Sophia actually into Evan now? People remember how I used to be Willow's devoted simp, someone she never even glanced at twice, while I ran around like her servant, fetching and carrying for her every day, but now Sophia, who outclasses Willow in every possible way, is somehow linked to me instead. Meanwhile, Willow finishes changing and walks out of the gymnasium, looking especially gloomy. Losing the match is bad enough, but the person who beat her that she lost so devastatingly to her makes it worse. Julian and Vanessa trail closely behind, wanting to comfort her but not knowing where to start, since they're both feeling pretty down themselves. Just moments ago, they'd both assumed someone like Sophia would never look twice at me, and now, out of nowhere, Sophia had walked right up and spoken to me first. Has Sophia lost her mind? How could she possibly be into him? Does she not know what kind of person Evan is? Julian's face darkens. He'd figured that no matter how hard I tried, Willow would always remain firmly on his side. But seeing Sophia connected to me today pushes him to the brink of losing all composure. Why is it that someone like me, rich, sure, fine, could somehow attract someone like Sophia too? Was it because he himself just hadn't tried hard enough? The guys who'd been sitting with me looked my way. "Evan, you knew Sophia before?" I answer with a casual, The guys press further. "So what's your relationship now?" Having been close by earlier, they couldn't help but notice how differently Sophia's eyes had lingered on me. There was clearly something more there, making it impossible not to speculate. After everything with Willow, I've learned not to flatter myself, worried I might end up looking like a simp again in someone's eyes. Seeing them looking so curious, I say, our families just happen to know each other, so we've grown a bit closer. Ah, I see your family really is loaded, huh? After exchanging goodbyes with a few guys from other classes, I make my way back to the classroom. Seeing everyone staring at me, I'm well used to this kind of overreaction by now. I sit down quietly at my desk. A girl in front of me stares straight at me, her tone dripping with sarcasm. We lost the match and yet you look pretty pleased with yourself. She's a teammate of Willow's. I raise an eyebrow. You lost the match, not me. Why would I be upset? Getting noticed by Sophia must feel pretty great about yourself, huh? I let out a soft laugh. What, upset that she never noticed you instead? My words leave her speechless and she huffs, snapping her mouth shut in frustration. It's a while before Willow finally comes back, trailed by Julian and Vanessa. Willow sinks into her seat. I glance over at her, sensing that her anger right now is on the verge of boiling over. She always gets this worked up whenever Sophia's name comes up. In the past I would have shared her outrage completely, but now I just find it entertaining. Willow's gaze lands on me, and seeing my smirk, her eyes turn even colder. What are you looking at me for? Your own skills weren't good enough, and now you're blaming me for it? Willow stares straight at me. She just lost the match, and instead of offering any comfort, I'm sitting here mocking her, which grates on her badly. In the past, every time she lost a match to Sophia, I'd buy her things, shower her with gifts, do everything to cheer her up, telling her she was so much better than Sophia, but now I've started mocking her instead. The bell rings for the end of class. I quickly gather my things and stand up, walking out of the classroom. Seeing me leave, Willow stands up too, grabbing her belongings and following me straight out the door. She moves so quickly that Julian doesn't even manage to keep pace with her. I've barely reached the stairwell when Willow catches up right behind me, suddenly grabbing hold of my arm. I look at her, genuinely caught off guard. Willow, what are you doing? Willow stares at me, her eyes rimmed red. Seeing her like this, I'm momentarily stunned too. Willow, struggling to hold back her emotions, asks me, are you really planning to be with Sophia from now on? The question genuinely surprises me. In the past, she never would have cared about something like this. What's going on with her now? Seeing Willow look at me as though I'd betrayed her somehow, I reach out trying to pry her hand off my wrist, only to find her grip surprisingly firm. I can't help but let out a laugh. Weren't you always annoyed by me clinging to you? You said that every single day I clung to you felt like a nightmare to you. Those were the exact words she said to me herself, right before I died. If she hadn't said it, I never would have known that my love for her disgusted her that much. Turns out my wholehearted devotion wasn't precious to her at all, it was just a burden. Willow freezes at my words. I never said anything like that. She genuinely doesn't remember ever saying that. Of course I know this version of her never said it, but that doesn't mean she never thought it. I let out a cold laugh. But you've always hated me, haven't you? If you didn't, why were you with Julian every single day, giving him things that were mine, treating him so well while treating me like a servant? As I say this, I force a few tears out of my eyes. Truthfully, I feel nothing for Willow anymore after everything I've been through. All that remains in my heart is hatred. I've already lived through it once, how could I possibly still love her? But my past self spent an entire lifetime yearning desperately for her love, hoping she'd care for me just a little more, only to end up meeting such a tragic fate. Every time I think back on it, my heart fills with unbearable sorrow and overwhelming grief that rises up inside me. If it hadn't been for this chance at rebirth, that version of me, abandoned in some cramped rental in the slums, would have been so pitiful. Just thinking about it, my eyes genuinely well up. Willow stares at my reddened eyes. She'd originally come to find me simply because she couldn't stand seeing me get so close to Sophia, but this time, she sees a depth of sorrow in my eyes she's never witnessed before. She'd only ever failed to love me, that's all. She loves Julian. So why does she look, through my eyes, like she's committed some unforgivable sin? Had she really wounded me this deeply? I don't know. I just don't want to talk about feelings. Even now, she's still grasping for excuses. I reach up and wipe away my tears. I know you just don't want to talk about feelings with me. You and Julian are the ones who truly click, aren't you? So if that's the case, then whether I'm with Sophia or Blair, it's none of your business, is it? She wants to say more, but my reaction has clearly stirred some guilt in her. While the two of us are locked in this standoff, Julian and Vanessa arrive on the scene. Julian stands at the top of the stairwell, watching Willow and me. Julian looks between us in shock from his angle. Willow and I are standing awfully close, my hand still caught in her grip. The moment Julian appears, Willow seems to remember herself and quickly lets go. Watching her instinctive reaction, I let out a bitter smile. Don't come find me privately anymore. I'm worried it'll give Julian the wrong idea. With that, I don't linger any longer, turning and heading straight down the stairs. The moment I reach the bottom, my tear-blurred eyes are instantly wiped clean. I have no reason to shed real tears over a manipulator like her just now. I was only playing with her feelings for fun. In my last life, she deceived me so completely, so this time, I'm not about to let her off easy either. In her moments of despair, I'll always leave her just enough hope that I might still care for her. Watching me leave, Julian slowly descends the stairs and asks Willow, "What exactly happened between you two? I thought I saw him crying." I'm going back inside. She has zero appetite for explanations right now, and no idea how to explain to Julian what just happened. My attitude a moment ago had convinced her I still love her, meaning it was her coldness toward me that pushed me towards Sophia in the first place. Maybe she shouldn't have let me find out about her and Julian. Just as I step out of the school gates, I find Sophia waiting quietly by the entrance. She's already changed out of her sports gear, now wearing her #1 high uniform, with Blair standing beside her. The two of them wait patiently for me. The moment I appear, Blair spots me first. Hearing the commotion, Sophia turns to look my way too. By now a crowd is gathered around campus, everyone drawn to whatever Sophia is doing. Seeing her on the court is one kind of impression, but seeing her here, out of uniform, gives off an entirely different vibe. Wearing the exact same uniform, Blair somehow still comes off looking a little plain by comparison, while that same crisp, clean uniform looks absolutely stunning on Sophia. The moment she sees me, she walks over on her own and takes my bag from me. Her actions make it obvious she genuinely treats me well. It's not me chasing after her at all. Sophia doesn't seem to mind what others think of her either. Her eyes settle on me. "Let's go eat first." I nod in agreement. My mood hasn't been affected by Willow at all. That woman isn't even worth ruining my day over. Blair spots me and I glance up, shooting her an unimpressed look. Sensing my irritation, Blair reads the room and apologizes. So, about before, I really didn't recognize a big deal like you. Please don't be mad at me. I was genuinely wrong. I don't bother arguing with her, and simply ask Sophia, "Are you two friends?" My tone carries an obvious hint of disdain. Sophia glances at Blair, then turns to me. "No, we're not. It's entirely my fault. I apologize to you. You're the first person to ever call me out to my face. I remember it clearly. I was in the wrong. It's those idiots online spreading nonsense. I'll go find out exactly who started it." The Lee family car is already pulled up by now. Sophia ignores Blair entirely and opens the car door, watching as I climb inside. Blair stands on the curb and, seeing Sophia and me get into the car together, politely waves us off. "Well then, I won't intrude any further. I'll head home. Wishing you and my Sophia a lifetime of happiness together and lots of kids soon." Sophia rolls up the window, telling me helplessly, "Ignore her. I didn't expect you two to know each other. We just play tennis together sometimes." Mentioning tennis instantly brings back the image of Sophia dominating the court, and I can't help but gush. "Sophia, you're incredible at tennis. You scored so many points single-handedly today. You should have seen how furious Willow was." Sophia watches me gush over her and replies coolly, "It's just that she's too weak. If it weren't for Willow being in the match, she wouldn't have even bothered showing up herself." Hearing Sophia deliver such a blunt verdict on Willow in that serious tone, I find it genuinely amusing. I never expected her to talk trash about someone else too, even if what she's saying is true. "You're too impressive. Honestly, I don't even know what flaws you have. You're gorgeous, your grades are top-notch, and you're great at tennis too. The guys sitting near me today were all completely smitten with you." "I don't even know them." "I know you don't. I'm just saying you're that impressive. But you showing up at our school today, walking this close beside me, aren't you worried people might talk behind your back, spread rumors?" Sophia glances at me. "What rumors? I don't care about that." I can't help but smile faintly at that. She must have already known about the rumors surrounding me, though these past few days she hasn't brought it up once in front of me. Could it be that she came today specifically to stand up for me? The driver takes us to a restaurant. We've barely settled into our seats when my phone buzzes with a text. I open it and take a look. It's a message from Willow. "I'm sorry." Seeing those 3 words, I pause for a moment, surprised she actually apologized. It seems she genuinely doesn't want me getting close to Sophia. Maybe that's just human nature, even if she's utterly indifferent to me. Watching me grow close to someone else and stop chasing after her still leaves her rattled. Beside me, Sophia asks, "What do you want to eat?" "I'm fine with anything, but you go ahead and pick first." Sophia orders a few dishes, remembering I like spicy food, and adds a few more on top for me. Lately, the two of us have been having dinner together most evenings. Sophia and I have gotten quite close by now. "Your father still isn't back yet?" "He's been busy." Bringing this up stirs a quiet unease in me. In my last life, my father died in a car accident right before my college entrance exams. These days, I spend every day focused on pushing my grades higher, leaving little time to actually spend with him. Of course, he's always been this busy. Even if I wanted more time with him, he never really had time to spare for me. Still, I've already prepared myself. When the time draws near, I won't let him leave the house, which should be enough to prevent the accident from happening. Sophia watches me chew thoughtfully, my eyes fixed on the table, clearly lost in thought she can't quite guess at. She looks at me, noticing I often drift off like this sometimes. I could just tell her outright what secret I'm carrying, but I don't want to say it, and she doesn't press me either. Willow heads home, where her father, who's been out gambling lately, has just returned, already sitting in Willow's room. Seeing her walk in, Victor's face turns cold. "You, how are things going with Evan lately?" "Not much progress. Didn't I tell you to go win him back?" "I haven't managed it yet." Seeing her father like this, Willow feels exasperated. Why should she even have to win him back? He's already fired her from tutoring him. Is she really supposed to go begging him now? Does she have no dignity at all? Even though the news of me and Sophia together fills Willow with regret, sparking an urge to win me back somehow, seeing her father like this, She's still relieved, on some level, that she and I are no longer together. The words have barely left her mouth when Victor lunges forward and slaps her across the face. Damn girl, if you don't win him back, where's our money supposed to come from? Hurry up, how much cash do you have on you right now? Hand it over. It's obvious he's gambled away his money again. Willow looks at her father. You went gambling again, didn't you? Mind your own business. Don't be a nag like your mother. You think I won't beat you senseless. Before you had things going great, you were with Evan, with more money than you could spend. Even if I gambled a bit, it wouldn't have mattered. But no, you had to go and be with that poor nobody instead. And now look, you let a rich catch like that slip right through your fingers. Get him back, or I swear I won't let you off easy. Victor storms out as he says it. Once he's gone, Willow rummages under her bed, checking her hidden stash of cash, only to discover that the money she'd stashed there has already been taken by her father. The Lane household isn't large. She's lived with her father here her whole life, with barely any real privacy to speak of. There are only so many places she can hide money in. Back when she and I were together, the money I'd given her, she'd secretly saved a portion of it, since she'll soon be heading off to college, where expenses pile up everywhere and she can't count on her father for a cent. She'd have to rely entirely on herself, only for her father to dig up and take the money anyway. By the time Willow steps outside, her father's already gone. Staring at his retreating back, Willow, seething with fury, kicks the wall beside her. After finishing dinner, Sophia and I step out of the restaurant. It's raining outside. The Lee family driver drops me off at the doorstep, holding an umbrella for me. Evan, she calls, stepping out of the car. Sophia takes the umbrella herself and walks me to the door. I turn to her. All right, the rain's too heavy, you should head back now. Sophia looks at me tenderly. Good night, she says, her voice soft. I look at her, catching the bright, glimmering look in her eyes as she watches me, and feel my face flush slightly. I nod. Yeah, you two get home safe and rest well. See you tomorrow. Sophia nods, opens the umbrella, and heads back to the car. Watching her walk away, I realize just how genuinely happy being with her makes me. The driver pulls away quickly. Just as I'm about to head inside, I hear a familiar voice. Evan? I turn around and see Willow stepping out from the shadows, soaked from head to toe with no umbrella, no telling how long she's been standing there. Seeing her like this catches me off guard. What are you doing here? First she texts me an apology, and now she shows up in person too. Seems like my little performance this afternoon really got to her. Willow looks at me. Moments ago, my face still carried the warmth of a smile, but now, seeing her, my whole expression shuts down. Being with Sophia makes you that happy. It really does. She's good to me, unlike some people. So what exactly are you doing here? Would you still love me, the way you used to? She's always cold-faced. It's rare to see her wear a look this tender. I know her heart is cold as iron. Everything she does is just an act. But seeing this side of her I've never seen before still makes me strangely happy. Don't tell me you're short on cash again. It's only when you're broke that you'd ever show me a look like this. Willow looks at me. You're reading too much into it. I just came to check on you. I'm heading back. She turns to leave, but before she gets far, I see her collapse. I call Mrs. Joe over. She sees Willow lying there. Isn't this Miss Lane? What's wrong with her? Not sure, she just fainted. Mrs. Joe holds an umbrella over her and touches her forehead. She's burning up. She must have a fever. What should we do? Should we even bother? Bring her inside and get a doctor. Should she stay in her old room? Mrs. Joe asks, unsure. Didn't Mr. Lane used to have a room for her? Let her stay there for now. That room I set up for her before was arranged to my own standards. It'd be wasted on her now. Given her situation, she only deserves the driver's quarters. Mrs. Joe has someone move Willow to the servants' quarters, then calls a doctor. The doctor confirms it's just a fever, nothing serious, and lets her rest. I stand by the window, looking out at the courtyard. The rain tonight is really heavy. I've already showered. Sophia texts me. I'm here. I just got out of the shower. Sleep early then, good night. After that, I go to sleep. The next morning, Mrs. Joe prepares breakfast. I sit at the table and ask, how's Willow doing? She woke up right before dawn. She left first thing this morning. Evan looks at Mrs. Joe, a little surprised. Really? I thought she'd still be here. I told her to wait until you woke up. She wouldn't listen. Sometimes I really can't figure her out. Honestly, she seems a bit off. Mrs. Joe looks at me. I think Miss Sophia is so much better than her. Young master, you really shouldn't keep in touch with Willow anymore. Mrs. Joe is worried I'll go soft again and get tangled up with Willow. I hear this and laugh. Relax. If she hadn't collapsed at the door yesterday, I wouldn't have touched this with a 10-foot pole. Good. Ever since I stopped being lovesick, Mrs. Joe doesn't worry about me the way she used to. It seems that spoiled young master has really grown up. That morning, once I get to school, Willow has already changed and come to class. When she sees me, she just lowers her head and ignores me. She seems to have gone right back to being ice cold. Honestly, I think this is a bit much. I saved her life last night, and she can't even say thank you. Does she really think I'll still be her simp like before? After class, Julian comes over. He and Willow are heading to a student council meeting, so they leave together. Julian looks at Willow. Feeling better today? Willow glances at him. I'm fine. Losing yesterday's match wasn't a big deal. Having seen Willow with Evan yesterday, Julian feels a bit uneasy. Willow says nothing. Yesterday, her father took her money by force, and she's still in a bad mood. Julian notices she's barely talking to him, so he says, "Willow, if you want to be friends with Evan again, I support that too. You're overthinking it. I have zero interest in Evan. I just felt a bit unwilling seeing him with Sophia. I didn't want to make it that easy for them." "Good, Willow, whatever you decide, I'll support you." Willow nods, thinking of her father wanting to use her to swindle the Chen's money. She won't do it. Willow feels her father is a man with no bottom line. She won't let herself be used by him to do things she doesn't want to do. So this morning, as soon as she came to, she left the Chen house right away, not wanting any more entanglement with me. Because of this, for a while, Willow spends every day with Julian. Just stay out of my sight. I don't bother with him either. Every day I focus on my classes, and after class, when there's nothing to do, I go look at property. Housing prices are still low now, they'll skyrocket later. One afternoon I leave school a little late after finishing homework, and by the time I step out, the gate is nearly empty. "Young Master Chen." I've barely walked out when someone calls to me. I look up and see Victor. "Mr. Lane, here to see Willow?" "Yeah, just checking on her. That brat, I've been scolding her a lot lately. It's all because she insisted on being with that Lou kid. She has no idea what's good for her. Don't be too hard on her." I'm not really angry. Seeing Victor looking pretty rough, I frown. Right then, Willow and Julian come out of the school. Seeing me and Victor there, she rushes over and pulls me away, glaring at Victor. "What are you doing here?" Last time, Victor took her money and vanished for days. Now that he's back, it must mean he's out of cash again. She shoots him a cold look. "Mind your business, I'm talking to my son-in-law." "Get lost, who's your son-in-law?" He glances at me. "Why are you still standing there? What, you actually want to be my dad's son-in-law? Take a look at yourself first, you don't even qualify, get out." She snaps at me. I know her attitude toward me has always been bad, but hearing Willow talk to me like that still catches me off guard. I glare at her. This woman seems to treat me this way every single time. It takes me a few seconds to snap out of it. "You're overthinking it. Who'd even want you?" After snapping back, I leave quickly. Victor watches me walk off. "Son-in-law, don't worry. I'll have Willow come find you in a couple days. That brat, once we're home, I'm going to teach her a lesson." He tries to follow, but Willow doesn't give him the chance and blocks his way. Victor, furious, glares at Willow. "What's the meaning of this? Willow, you never put in any effort yourself, and now you won't let me try either? I finally get to see him and you go and chase him off. Can you do one useful thing for once?" "I already have." In the car, having seen Willow block her father, "Victor, can you please stop coming to my school? I'll come whenever I want. Where's the money? Do you have any?" "I have none. You already took everything last time. That was my college fund." "So what have you even been doing lately?" The mention of this sets Victor off. Back when Willow still had leverage over me, he had no complaints at all, and didn't care whether she was with Julian every day. I honestly didn't mind either. But now it's different. I thought Julian had stopped paying attention to Willow. Victor can't tolerate Willow going on like this. He needs to rein her in. Willow says, "This is my business. Just go. I have to get to work." Work, that's all you ever talk about. That crappy job barely pays anything a month. You'd be better off sweet-talking Evan. Look at the state you just left him in. "I just don't like doing that, so what?" Victor almost raises his hand at Willow, but remembering they're at school, he holds back. "We'll talk at home. Just give me money now, or I'll go find Evan myself." Willow looks at her father and pulls a few hundred yuan out of her pocket. "This is all I have." "That's it? Not enough. Go get more, you hear me? You don't want to see them chop your dad's hand off, do you? You really are just like your mother, not a shred of conscience. Knowing they might cut off my hand, you still refuse to do anything." Willow, stone-faced, says whether he lives or dies is none of her business. She boards the bus, waiting right outside, not waiting for her father another second. Victor, seeing her run off, is furious. He glances at the cash in his hand and heads off as well. This daughter of mine gets more disobedient by the day. Julian had originally come out with Willow, but seeing the scene unfold, he doesn't dare step in. He just watches quietly from the side. Only once they've both left does he come out. He'd only ever known Victor as the driver, never realizing he was actually Willow's father, and Willow doesn't even have money right now, yet he still shows up demanding cash. That's a bit much, honestly. Thinking about how awkward it would have looked if he'd stepped in, he simply stayed out of it and waited until they were gone. I sit in the car and watch the scene for a while, then tell the driver to go. Thinking about how Willow actually cursed me out, I find it almost funny. I don't even like her, yet she acts like she's terrified of marrying me just because her father said a couple nice words to me. Once I get home, Mrs. Joe looks at me, all smiles. "Young master, you're back. Who upset you?" Seeing my expression darken, Mrs. Joe immediately notices I'm not happy. "It's nothing, just some unlucky person. If Sophia comes by later, send her to the study." Sophia has been coming a bit later than usual lately, and I'm not sure what's keeping her busy. Not long after I go upstairs, Sophia arrives. "The young master seems a bit upset today." "What's wrong with him?" "He didn't say, but it's probably about Willow. It's only ever her that makes him this cold." Sophia comes upstairs and opens the study door, finding me with my laptop open, watching this year's most popular Spring Festival Gala comedy sketch, quite absorbed in it, laughing away happily. Sophia walks over and sits down in the empty seat beside me. I look at her. "You're here?" "Yeah, something held me up. You've been busy lately." She used to always come early every day, leaving school even before I do, but lately she seems to have a lot on her plate. Hearing me bring it up, Sophia nods. It won't affect our tutoring sessions though. I'll always try to make it. Your grades have really improved lately. Are you planning to go to college in the capital? Hearing my question, Sophia freezes for a moment. Her family actually wants her to leave right now, but she's kept putting it off. She looks at Evan. How did you know? I hear her question and my mouth curves up. Of course I know it happened in my past life. Only all that happened after the college entrance exam. Back then, I never once thought about leaving for somewhere else. Willow chose a local school, so I stayed here too. In fact, in my past life, Willow's score was high enough to get into Tsinghua or Peking University. Yet she chose to stay in Yuncheng. I never understood why. Maybe she couldn't bear to leave this place, or maybe she couldn't bear to leave Julian. Back then, I never hid anything from her, but she never told me anything of hers. On top of that, around that time her father passed away. I think I probably will go, but likely after the exam is over. Do you think my grades are good enough for a school in the capital? Sophia looks at me and nods. If you set your mind to it, you can get in. I close the video on my laptop and stretch. Then let's aim for that. Sophia looks at me, a little surprised. You want to go to the capital? I just want to give it my best shot. Sophia watches me, seeing my confidence return, glad to see me in better spirits. I just got worked up by Willow earlier. I tell her about what happened at the school gate, asking, isn't this ridiculous? I never even said I'd marry her, and she acted like I was going to force it on her, snapping at me like that. What's her problem? She's obviously into Julian, acting like nobody else could possibly want her. It's my own fault for being blind before, making her think she mattered so much. Sophia looks at me and says, our Evan is far too good for her to look down on. I hear this and turn to look at her, catching her staring straight at me, and suddenly I feel a bit flustered. It takes me a while to recover. Do you talk this way to everyone? No, I'm not that kind of casual person. Come to think of it, I must be pretty different to you then. Hearing this, Sophia freezes for a second, avoiding my gaze, then puts on a serious expression. I promised your father I'd take good care of you. The moment she brings up my father, I suddenly feel a bit deflated. She's a little too dutiful about this. If your family told you to end up with someone else instead, would you agree to that too? Sophia looks at me, her expression complicated. Alright, I was just teasing you, don't take it so seriously. You're making me feel like I'm bullying you. Sophia, is there a guy you like? Why are you asking that? Just curious, even though my dad asked you to look after me and you agreed, you should still have your own feelings. If there's someone you actually like, you shouldn't force yourself. Is it because we've been together every day lately and you're already sick of me? Her eyes look a little hurt. I'll head back for today. That's not what I meant. I wasn't trying to push you away. Sophia, that's a bit of an overreaction. She doesn't stay, she just leaves. Mrs. Joe sees her on her way out. I'll head home now, Mrs. Joe. Sophia's expression is grim. All right, take care. Coming down from upstairs, I find Sophia has already left. Mrs. Joe spots me. Young master, what happened? Is she upset again? I was just chatting with her and somehow that set her off too. As long as you're a little nicer to her. That girl's got no sense at all. You've got her wrapped around your finger. I don't dislike her, I just wouldn't want to be with a man I actually dislike. Liking, what's that worth? I never told you to actually fall for Evan. I just told you to go after his money. What's the problem with that? I won't do it. Thinking of Evan, she knows he's simply from a different world than hers either way. Willow just doesn't want to walk down that path with me. She has to admit, with me around, her life really is uncomplicated, but seeing her father look so pleased with himself just makes her furious. If I hadn't given you such good looks, you think you'd stand a chance catching anyone's eye? And another thing, I know your grades are good, but back in my day, my grades weren't bad either. What's so great about that Mr. Chen anyway? His scores back then weren't even as good as mine. He's only a boss because his family had money. Willow's face darkens. She walks straight into her room and shuts the door. Victor stands outside ranting for a long while. She just stuffs tissues in her ears. The next morning I see Willow at school. As she walks in, there's a bruise on her face. I freeze for a moment. Willow, what happened? I got hit. I remember her argument with her father yesterday. Did he actually hit her after she got home? Willow sits down nearby, and everyone else in class goes quiet at the sight. Julian also sees the state Willow is in. He's startled too, seeing her hurt. Willow sits down without a word. I look at her, stubborn as ever even in this rotten luck, and can't help asking, your dad hit you? Hearing this, Willow shoots me a cold glance. So what, you want to help again? Fine, give me a few million then. He's racked up a mountain of gambling debt. Give me a few million and I'll be your friend. How about that? As she speaks, her eyes are full of mockery, as if laughing at my foolishness. It instantly makes my blood boil. I was only asking out of concern, and you jumped straight to millions. Quite the imagination. Fine then, mind your own business from now on. Willow, stone-faced, keeps her head down. In truth, it wasn't her father who hit her. It was the debt collectors who'd shown up at the house first thing that morning, there to make trouble for her father. And she'd been caught in the crossfire and got hurt. Honestly, I do care about you. The word care makes something in Willow flicker for a moment. She glances at me. My mouth curves up. I care whether you're doing well right now. If I hear you're doing badly, I'll finally feel at ease. Next time your dad hits you, let me know. I'll come and applaud. Willow pulls out her textbook, her expression turning utterly grim. Seeing me push things this far, she finally speaks. Don't tell me you think being with Sophia is going to make you happy. She's out of your league in every way. Why would she ever look at you? After a moment I ask, which school are you aiming for? In my past life, both Willow and Julian went to Yuncheng University, but I'm still curious why Willow suddenly set her sights on Yuncheng University instead of Tsinghua or Peking University. Why do you even ask? Just curious. I want to see which school you both end up at. Maybe I'll join you there too, since it's nice going to the same school when everyone already knows each other, right? That way I could also see whether you two really last. Time slips by like a horse glimpsed through a crack in the wall. In the midst of intense, focused exam prep, the college entrance exam finally arrives, then quietly ends. Outside the exam hall, the sun is bright, almost blinding. I take a deep breath. The air is filled with the scent of gardenias, carrying with it a sense of release and rebirth. I turn back for one last look at the familiar school gate. There's no hesitation in my heart, only clarity. This time I fought for myself, and I've handed in an answer I have no regrets about. Evan. Sophia's voice is cool, yet warm. She stands under the shade of a sycamore tree, smiling as she watches me. How'd it go? I walk over quickly. How about you? That last big question, I bet you used the second method we discussed. Exactly right. Thanks to you, that approach felt tailor-made for me. I think I've got this one in the bag. The two of us exchange a smile, an unspoken understanding hanging in the air between us. Just then, a jarring commotion breaks out nearby. I look up to see Willow and Julian surrounded by a group of classmates, but the atmosphere feels a bit off. Willow's face is pale, with deep dark circles under her eyes. It's clear this final stretch before the exam has been brutal for her. Her father, Victor's debt troubles hang over her like a shadow that never leaves, and the debt collectors have even shown up at school, pushing her already frayed nerves close to breaking. What stings even more is that just when she needed him most, Julian started drifting away, deliberately or not. That once serene, gentle top student, faced with harsh reality, reveals nothing but cowardice and self-interest. He no longer defends Willow openly the way he used to, and when others gossip about her family's troubles, he now chooses silence or changes the subject. Right now, Julian is saying something to Willow, his expression a rehearsed kind of comfort, but his body language betrays the distance between them. Willow looks at him, her gaze complicated, part reluctance to accept it, part quiet, knowing mockery. I look away, my heart perfectly still. All those tangled loves and hatreds from my past life now seem like nothing more than a foolish dream I wrote and starred in myself. I no longer hate Willow, but I feel not an ounce of sympathy either. Everyone has to answer for their own choices. She chose to lean on Julian and trample on my sincerity, so today, she has to swallow the bitter fruit of that choice herself. Let's go. Dad and Mrs. Joe must already be waiting for us. The day the exam results are released, all of Yuncheng is buzzing. The biggest news isn't Willow, who's always held the top spot, or Julian, it's the miracle dark horse Evan. I score astonishingly high, not just clearing the bar by far but even surpassing Willow, and I'm admitted to a top university in the capital, alongside Sophia. Once the news spreads, the classmates who once mocked me as an empty-headed servant's son are all left speechless. The mocking, sarcastic comments in the class group chat disappear entirely, replaced instead by a flood of congratulations and slightly awkward flattery. Vanessa even quietly deletes every rumor about me she'd ever posted on the forums. I watch the notifications pop up non-stop on my phone screen, my heart calm. I no longer need this kind of outside validation to prove who I am. Getting this second chance at life, my biggest win has been reclaiming my self-respect, seeing people clearly for who they are, and having something worth fighting for. Meanwhile, Willow's outcome turns out to be a sobering one. The crushing family pressure and emotional blows badly affect her performance on exam day. She underperforms her scores enough for a decent undergraduate program, but Tsinghua and Peking University slip out of reach, and she has no chance now of following Julian, the path she'd once been so set on. Julian, as he'd hoped, gets into a prestigious school up north, and after receiving his acceptance letter, gently suggests to Willow that they take some time apart, so each of them can focus on their studies. As for Willow's father, Victor, while dodging debt collectors, he's badly injured in an accident, hospitalized, and may need care for the rest of his life. This man, who once schemed to climb into wealth through his own daughter, ultimately buries everything with his own greed. Willow quietly shoulders it all. She turns down help from everyone, including the assistance my family offers out of simple decency. She sells off the last of her family's few remaining belongings, and takes her father away from Yuncheng, this place of heartbreak, to a small town where nobody knows her, starting a life that's truly her own, one full of hardship, but also completely free of the vanity of her old life. Perhaps this is truly the starting point of her life. During the summer after the exam, Mr. Chen deliberately clears his entire schedule, taking me and Sophia on a long trip together. On this journey, I'm no longer the reckless, self-absorbed kid who used to worry his father constantly. I've become steady and thoughtful, planning the route myself, making sure both Sophia and my father are comfortable. One evening, on a beach in Sanya, the setting sun paints the sea a golden red. Mr. Chen watches his son chasing the waves along the shore with Sophia, his eyes full of quiet pride. He walks over and pats my shoulder. Evan, your dad knows everything now. Knows what? About that dream you had. I don't know the details, but I can guess enough. Thank you, son. Thank you for saving your father and for saving yourself, too. My nose stings. So my father had noticed the change in me all along, quietly watching over me in his own way. As for you and Sophia, your dad's fully behind it. She's a good kid, a better judge of character than your old man even. This is your graduation gift from me, and an early betrothal gift, too. He hands me a folder as he speaks. Inside are the transfer documents for the majority of the Chen family's shares in the capital branch, along with a deed to a beautifully renovated courtyard house near the university. This is Mr. Chen's way of telling his son your future and your happiness are yours to build. Your dad's fully behind you. The final stop of the trip is the terrace of that very courtyard house. The night breeze is cool, the sky thick with stars. Sophia leans against the railing, gazing out at the countless lights of the capital. I walk over to her side and drape a thin blanket over her shoulders. Sophia, there's something I owe you across 2 lifetimes. I'm sorry for how blind I was to you in my past life. My voice catches a little. I gather my courage and take Sophia's cool hand in mine. And thank you. Thank you for being willing to wait for me again, this time around. I know saying I like you might not be enough right now, but I hope you'll give me a chance. Let me spend the rest of my life learning how to love you, cherishing you the way you've cherished me. Will you be my girlfriend? Sophia doesn't answer right away. She simply steps forward, gently leaning into my arms, burying her head against my chest. It's a long while before her voice comes, laced with a slight tremor of tears, yet unmistakably firm. Evan, I wasn't waiting for you. I was waiting for myself, waiting until I was strong enough that no matter who you became, I'd have the strength to walk toward you. Lucky for me, this time around, you reached me faster than I ever imagined. Hearing Sophia's voice, tearful yet so unwavering, my whole body goes still for a moment. Then I pull her in tighter, wrapping her fully in my arms, as if trying to fold this girl who has waited 2 lifetimes for me completely into my very bones. My chin rests against the softness of her hair, and all the bittersweet ache and burning love built up across 2 lifetimes rise up in me at once. Tears fall without warning into her hair. I've lived 2 lifetimes now. In the last one, it wasn't until I died that I finally understood who truly cared for me. I stumbled through half a life in a fog, pouring all my devotion into the wrong person, leaving this girl, the one who should have been cherished above all, to guard her feelings alone, unseen by anyone, waiting for so long. Silly girl, I'm the one who should be calling myself lucky. I raise my hand and gently wipe away the still wet tears on her cheek, then look down at the reddened corners of her eyes. Those eyes, always so calm and cool, now catch the light of the stars scattered across the sky, reflecting only me. My voice comes out rough, but carrying a solemnity and reverence I've never felt before, every word like a vow carved into the rest of my life. In my past life I was blind, I mistook a pearl for a common stone, and let you suffer, out of my sight, through so much unfair pain, waiting through so many days and nights. It wasn't until I died that I finally understood that somewhere in this world, someone truly valued me above everything else. I lower my head, gently resting my forehead against hers, our noses touching, our breaths mingling. The summer night breeze carries the scent of gardenias from the courtyard, drifting across us, stirring the ends of our hair. This time around, the moment I woke up to a second chance, my first thought was to stay as far away as possible from all that rotten mess. My second thought was to run toward you with everything I had. I kept fearing I was running too slowly, that you'd have to wait too long. That just like in my past life, I'd break your heart again and you'd walk away. My thumb gently brushes across her cheek, taking in the glimmer of tears in her eyes. I lean down and press a soft, tender kiss to her forehead, as if trying to smooth away every moment of waiting and every worry she's carried across 2 lifetimes. Sophia, you don't have to wait anymore. From now on, through every year and every season, every morning and every night, I'll be right here beside you, step by step. When you walk forward, I'll walk beside you. When you look back, I'll always be right there behind you. I owe you 2 lifetimes worth of devotion and care. In the long years ahead, I'll spend the rest of my life paying it back slowly. Is that all right? Buried in my arms, Sophia listens to my heart pounding beneath my chest, and finally can't hold back her tears any longer. Yet through her tears, she smiles and nods firmly. My arms tighten around her waist, and the boy she'd waited for so long has finally crossed through the regret of life and death from a past world, stumbling his way to reach her at last.